And now, coming to you live from Huntsville Attic Studios, it's Pop Culture Philosophers. And here are your hosts, Rockin, Robbie, Billups, and John Hammertime Holshoe.
Hey everybody, it's the Pop Culture Philosophers, coming to you live from the Huntsville Attic in beautiful Huntsville, Alabama. I say live, but if you're tuning in, we record this live.
It's live
without cuts, yeah. And then we replay it back for the people on the interwebs. Today we're going to do planes, trains, and automobiles. We're talking about our favorite planes, trains, and automobiles in movie culture, as well as some travel movies. I'm really excited to talk about all that stuff and get it started. It's the new year, new show. Same old cast, though, same old pieces of shit returning to record a podcast. Some very familiar faces. I'm excited. My name is John Hammertime Holshoe. With me always, Rockin Robbie Billups.
Hey everybody, Rockin Robbie Billups here. Excited to talk about planes, trains, and automobiles. Now, John, when we first started Pop Culture Philosophers, this was one of the first ideas we had.
Yeah, because not only is it a great film, but it's a great concept for a podcast.
Yes.
Because we can talk about all sorts of modes of transportation. I was really excited. It took quite a while for the episode to come about, and hopefully people enjoy it. It probably won't. I think it's going to be a pretty shit. No, I'm excited, man. There's some really cool topics.
We thought it'd be a great idea to do a podcast about vehicles in pop culture.
Oh, yeah. There's some very iconic vehicles.
And of course, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is a road trip / travel movie. So we're like, let's tie it all together, and that's what we're doing right here. First podcast of 2018. Did you have a good New Year, John?
I had a great New Year. I made the mistake, though, of staying up too late with some friends, having a few drinks, and then having to get up at 5 o'clock for work. So I had much regret that day, but yeah.
Well, I appreciate you sticking it out. We were able to see Britney Spears perform Toxic on the Rockin' New Year's Eve.
It was so awkward.
It was very awkward. I'm like, first of all, why is Britney Spears here? Second of all, why is she doing Toxic? That song came out like 15 minutes ago, and now everybody's thinking, why is Robbie talking about the New Year's Eve show with Britney Spears when we're talking about planes, trains, and automobiles?
If you're just tuning in, which would be really odd, because you can download this. I don't know where you would start it here. But we're talking about planes, trains, and automobiles, and not Britney Spears. She's not in my notes at all, in fact.
And with us tonight, first of all, he arrived on a perfect plane of perception and precision. It's Justin Goldsmith.
I did, in fact, arrive on a perfect plane of precision. Whatever
Prescriptions.
Prescriptions, too.
Prescription drugs.
Yeah.
Also arriving on the totally terrific train of trauma and tragedy, it was Mike, the voice Matthews.
I'm pretty sure I just messed this whole thing up.
Okay. Also sitting in case you hear him every once in a while, we got Will, the Vil priest here.
What's going on, everybody?
That's right. The Vil. Get it? The villain? I don't know. That's all I could come up with. All those alliterations, by the way, were on the spot, straight off the dome.
You did great.
I was going to go with Will the Dill.
Yeah. That's nice. So first of all, I want to ask you guys real quick. Justin, we'll start with you.
Okay.
What is a travel movie to you?
Well, for the purposes of our top 5 list,
yes,
we always have to make a little box to put everything in, which I'll go into more detail on later when we get to the top 5. But to me, a travel movie is defined by, characters. In a movie, characters always go on journeys, but there's got to be a physical journey where they're going from one place to a specific destination.
Well, what about the bedroom to the bathroom?
Well,
that could be a
how long can you...
Which is a great movie, by the way.
We should try to write that out and see how long we can stretch it out.
And it will be called From the Bedroom to the Bathroom.
Yeah. So, as long as they've got one specific destination they're going to, physically, What
about you, Mike? What is a travel movie to you?
Anything really that personal journey or, A to B, and then location, and what do you see? It could be a mental journey.
A to B, and what do you see? I like that.
So,
Dr. Seuss up in this shit.
Again, like I said, I think I messed this thing up, so we'll see.
You'll be fine. Just don't be hijacking stuff.
I went more road than travel.
Well, road trip movies are a part of travel movies, but we didn't want to limit ourselves to just movies like road trip movies. Like, we didn't want to just road trip, vacation, stuff like that. A lot of different movies, a lot of different modes of transportation. We'll be talking about the transportation, all that stuff. To me, a road movie means, or a travel movie means one thing. It's a journey to freedom, right? That's what I think. We'll get more into that later. John, what's a travel movie? And let's get this thing started. Let's roll it down.
I think just the immediate thing that comes to my mind is a National Lampoon Vacation or something like that, like a road trip.
Yes.
Kind of thing. But that's not necessarily what it is. I had to sit back and think about it. And to me, it's just going from point A to point B, and it's more than just a spiritual journey. It's actually, there has to be some sort of mode of transportation involved. It doesn't have to be the 100% the only means of getting from point A to point B, but that's what it is when I came out with the concept. To me, I was trying to break it down, and I don't think we all agreed on this 100%. So there's going to be some variations on that, but I think the core concept, variation of Asians.
What? Anyway, the episode is planes, trains, and automobiles, and very simply, we will start with horseback riding.
No, we'll probably start with
Walking.
The flight, planes, jets. What other
spaceships, helicopters.
Yeah, planes.
Air
we should have
travel.
also told the crew too that planes is any type of aircraft. It could be. It could be a spaceship.
I just realized we only told these guys planes.
Yeah, planes.
Yeah,
They might have
anything
Star
through the air.
Wars or Star Trek on the old thing. Because Star Trek itself, I guess, is all in a damn.
It's a travel series.
Yeah, it's a travel series.
I was talking about the Millennium Falcon, and everybody's like, "No, that's a shuttle, not a plane."
Well, I love airplane too,
spaceship.
and they take a spaceship. But let's
Also,
start with
why aren't boats on this?
Because the movie is called Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
And plus, we don't have enough room in the podcast.
We're going to do a whole episode about boats on a boat.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah, and we
Will's
actually
got a boat. We'll do
There we
it.
go. We'll do it on Will's.
Yeah, and we
boat.
got half of Lonely Island coming to be on the show with us.
Oh, cool.
The half that no one knows. Like the people nobody recognizes.
The third guy that nobody knows his name.
Steve. So we're going to get into planes first, talking about our favorite movies with planes, etc. But let's talk about the history of the plane. So 1799, everybody knows this. Sir George Cayley.
Everybody knows.
Yeah, I'm just repeating stuff people already know. He invented the first fixed-wing aircraft. So he had this idea of flight and basically gliders at this point in time. And he created this glider and put a young boy on it, and it flew a little bit. It was the first manned flight. I like how in history they never tell you, A, who the person is. You just say a young boy. So I assume he was killed horribly.
So you're telling me, with the history of American space travel, for instance, we before we sent a human up there, we sent like apes and
dogs.
things like that.
Monkeys,
This dude just sent his
a boy.
his nephew.
Yeah, the kid that delivers
I never
the
liked
mail.
him anyway.
Yeah. So that's in 1849. So that's the first fixed aircraft. The first successful takeoff was 1894 in a biplane test rig. And then we jump ahead to 1903, and that's when you get the first actual controlled flight. And that, of course, is the Wright brothers, Wilbur and Orville. And Orville, of course, went on to invent popcorn.
Yes.
Yeah, as we all know. But that was in 1903, and that was in North Carolina, Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. So 1903 was the first airplane. And airplanes actually themselves evolved so quickly because of war. Seriously, that was in 1903. You're not that far away from the First World War. And they realized they could really use these in war. So first they're like, oh, we can use them for reconnaissance. They're like, wait a minute, what if we strap a fucking gun to these things?
Yeah, because
So-
they still used a lot of balloons and shit
Oh,
in
yeah,
World War
Zeppelins
I.
and stuff like
And then
that.
they started doing the planes.
So World War I really pushed the advancement of airplanes, and World War II especially, and then introduced the jet, actually, and that was the Germans. But yeah, so that's the history of the airplane somewhat. Just a brief history. I skipped over a lot of information, but if you want to learn more, go to your local library, or you know what, go on the goddamn internet. You're already there listening to the show. So let's talk about our favorite planes, jets, any type of aircraft from movies. I'm going to actually start with Mike, the voice Matthews. Is there a particular aircraft or air vehicle that stands out in your mind from movies or TV that you love, or from pop culture in general?
I've got two. The first one is Snoopy's Flying Doghouse.
Yes. Yes.
So he's always fighting the Red Baron. I mean, it's in almost every Peanuts show, cartoon, movie that there is. So it's iconic. They borrowed it from a song. So I figured I'd throw it in there. And then the other one was the 1980s helicopter TV show Airwolf.
Oh, I love Airwolf. I was hoping Airwolf would be mentioned. Yes. That music, too. You're right. Airwolf is
great theme
iconic.
song.
And that, dude, what a badass helicopter.
I got a question here, Mike. You said that the Snoopy being the Red Baron on his doghouse is inspired by the song. What song are you talking about?
Snoopy versus the Red Baron.
That came before Peanuts?
I think it did. If I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I
You're
can't
talking about
remember.
the Christmas song where it was like Snoopy and Mom.
Yeah, wasn't that before? Was
La
that?
la Yeah.
Was that before the?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But I love that song.
Do a Google during the
I'm
break.
happy we didn't check any facts before we started the show.
Yeah.
So, but in our defense,
like I said, I've already messed this up, so we're just gonna roll with it.
in our defense,
I think
we
that
record
Snoopy's
this.
Doghouse is a great answer, to be honest
Yeah.
with you.
I was gonna say in our defense,
jealous.
we record this show in the middle of nowhere with no internet access.
In the middle of the night,
Yeah, out in the snow,
From the land of Thune.
so we can't check facts on the show.
in the age of wonder.
But that's cool answers, unexpected answers. I really expected something that would be on my list to be on your list, so I'm happy with the something a little different. Robbie, aircraft,
Ooh.
stand out in your mind in pop culture.
1989 Batwing.
Oh, that Batwing is so badass.
Oh, right? Like, and especially when it goes up to the
yeah.
moon.
Yeah, that was on
Right?
my list, man.
Oh.
I love the Batwing.
Now, the only thing that really like hurts the Batwing is apparently it can be taken down by a really goofy like
long
gun.
ass revolver.
Like
One bullet from a long ass revolver.
That's a little awkward, but I love that. I love the toy. If you remember, the toy had the handle and the wings would pop off. It had the suction cup missiles
Yeah.
and dude, I love that toy.
The problem with the handle
Was that the Toy Biz? That was the Toy Biz version of it, right?
the handle
Yeah.
you couldn't land it, and then it looked kind of awkward if you wanted to like hang it up. The handle
Yeah, but
bothered
it
the
would
shit
sit.
out of me
I don't know. The handle didn't
because
bother
it had the
me.
claw and everything.
I thought the handle was more like a kickstand, so it didn't really bother me that much. And I loved being able to like.
yeah, as far as flying it goes,
it reminded me of Captain Power, which is another great plane from pop culture, right? The other one, the Seekers from Transformers, Starscream, Skywarp, Thundercracker. I love those toys. And I know that a lot of mine are apparently based on my favorite toys when I was a kid, but those are just so freaking cool, dude. The dudes
Isn't
that
one
turn
of those
into the
just a
jet-
recycled Robotech?
Well, that's Jetfire.
Oh, okay, or is
That's
Robotech recycled from Transformers? Which one was
Jetfire
first?
was a
two
robot.
separate.
Two separate things, but it's the same toy.
Yeah, but which one came first? Was it Robotech?
Robotech.
Or again, Macross or Transformers?
Macross.
I think God
Macross
came
is
first.
Well, there's technically there's Diaclone and Macross are about the same time, but then
Yeah.
Transformers, and they needed a jet, and so they went
like fuck
to.
it, let's just recycle this.
so
shit.
they just used the Macross jet and did Skyfire,
which a lot of toy companies do recycle properties. That's
Yeah.
not that part's not new.
And,
But I don't think they had the rights to.
They just did it.
They just did it.
Okay, so you got Batwing, the Seekers, mostly Skywarp because I like the purple and black. I think that's a great color combination. And seriously, I mean Air Force One from any of the from the West Wing, like Air Force. Watching the West Wing, Air Force One looks like just awesome.
Yeah.
Does it not?
Oh, I thought
Those
you
are
were
my
talking about
picks.
the one with Harrison Ford.
Well, they don't really show as. It doesn't look as.
Get
cool.
off my plane.
It doesn't look as good.
What about you, Goldsmith? Particular vehicles other than I know which ones you're going to say.
What?
I think you might say the is it the USS Enterprise?
Well, see, I was going literal with my planes answers,
Oh,
so I picked the bus from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh yeah,
plane
see,
they have.
I had that on my list, but I knew you being such a fan of that show
Yeah.
that you would mention it. That's
wait,
a badass.
they have a
plane.
flying bus?
It's their headquarters, dude.
It's a big, it's a really big airplane that S.H.I.E.L.D. made for a while, and then they stopped using them when they got the helicarriers.
yeah.
Yes.
But it's basically just a really huge plane, but it takes off like a Harrier, like it goes straight up, the vertical takeoff and stuff, and it's got like cloaking and stuff, so it's invisible and it's flying.
Oh, that makes me think of another one, Lola.
Well,
the flying car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, spoilers.
Oh man.
For later in the show.
Okay, later on the show, you know.
Is that Captain?
Ignore that.
Is that Nick Fury's car?
It's
It's the one that Coulson has.
Coulson's.
Oh,
yeah.
Coulson. Is it an old
Nick
vet?
Fury
Is it a
had that
modified
car to
vet?
begin with in the
Okay.
show,
Yeah.
in
the cartoon,
in the comic
comic.
books.
That is the
Yeah.
car, though, the same car.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And I'm just wanted to make sure that nobody was going to put invisible jet because that's like the worst idea for an airplane.
Yeah, especially for someone who can fly.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Wonder Woman?
But at the time, she couldn't fly.
Why would you want an invisible anything that you have to go to?
I don't know. Ask the guys that piloted the Defiant, the USS Defiant.
Well, it can be invisible, but it's not actually invisible.
I don't know.
I have a
Where,
hard enough time finding my fucking car.
I
in
don't
the
know where
parking
the
lot.
gas tank is on this thing, Jim.
Yeah.
Quick Google research: the Snoopy song "Snoopy vs. the Red Baron" was inspired by Peanuts. So.
Of
That's what I
course.
thought
That
so.
makes way
Peanuts-
more sense.
Peanuts-
How random.
Yeah.
If it was this random song like Snoopy, like what Snoopy? Oh yeah, Will Priest wants to say the pterodactyl Dinozord from
Ooh.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is one of his favorite air vehicles. That's a really
Nice.
That's a really good. Wasn't there a toy line, Air something? They were like on the
Air Raiders.
Air Raiders.
Air
Were they
Hogs.
the ones that were like on like the strings and all that stuff? And
Yes, you're correct, sir. They could go up and down the wall. They could go all side to side.
Yeah.
They're really cheap and just terrible.
What about you, John? Your favorite planes/air vehicles from pop culture?
Well, two of them we've already discussed. The Batwing, of
I
course.
knew I was going to steal that one from you, but I mean,
I also put the Invisible Jet from Super Friends, and of course, Goldsmith. It's on there.
Why the fuck?
You've already talked shit.
What if your car was invisible, man?
Yeah.
You already park out in the middle of fucking nowhere. You're never gonna find it.
Well, he'd be able to see like the random hard candies in his console or whatever, right?
Yeah,
That's how you'd be able to find it.
the big Slurpee that's in the center console.
You know what? That's a good point.
I can see all those Taco Bell receipts in what looks to be a glove box, so that must be my car.
That's a good point. Why don't you ever see anything else inside the jet?
It's all invisible.
You see her. You don't see
she floats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost as if she's flying.
Maybe there is no jet. Maybe she just flies sitting down.
Yeah. That looks really
Why does
weird.
everybody got to do the Superman pose, right? I mean, if you could
I guess
fly,
so.
you could fly in any way, right?
Sit down.
I just just do
Bob
the
the
jackhammer. I don't know.
The only other one I'm going to mention was the aircraft from X-Men, which is
The Blackbird?
the Blackbird.
Oh, yeah.
Which
a good
in
one.
some iterations is actually they just redrew the fucking Blackbird,
Yeah.
the SR-71 Blackbird.
And then sometimes they draw the Blackbird and they just call it the X-Jet. Like they got away from calling it the Blackbird. They just call it the X-Jet now, which I don't know why they ever called it the Blackbird when it wasn't an actual Blackbird. But dude, that thing was awesome, especially in the 90s cartoon and the action
Yes.
and the toy for that.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, even the
that is-
beginning in the average, like the beginning opening credits, you got it leaving. The compound. It looks so badass.
If you look at it in the 90s from the cartoon, it's actually the new bomber that's flipped reverse.
Yeah, the wings are forward. Yeah.
Rings are reversed with the Blackbird on it. So
I think it's Chris Claremont's subtle indication that we have been using alien technology, Shi'ar technology, for years.
Oh, I meant to ask you guys something during this segment. There was a show a while
The
back
segment's
called
over, man.
Pan Am.
Yeah. So fuck off.
It's not yet. There's,
that show was
there-
canceled.
Yeah, I know it got canceled, but
It's like three episodes, I think.
yeah, but
Holy shit.
I was interested in the idea because I've always really loved the idea of how air travel used to be. Because when it first got really popular with the masses, it was like a luxury thing, and it's like
Yeah, very glamorous.
yeah, you go on
Yeah.
a plane and
Yeah, but you can
you
can get that in like 2 hours. It's called Catch Me If You Can.
yeah, exactly.
Which is a great movie. Speaking of movies and TV shows and planes, guys, right, John?
Right.
Yeah, sure.
John has a question he wants to ask us.
I was going to ask you guys. I've got this rash. If you could look at
It's
No.
in the shape of a plane.
So you were talking about Pan Am, which got canceled, which I saw trailers, and I don't have TV anymore. I mean, I have just rabbit ears, so if I miss something, I gotta go. But I saw the trailers and I wanted to watch it, by the way. Especially since Pan Am, it's not like they made up a fucking airline.
What's that new
Yeah.
show
Pan
coming
Am's
out
a
with?
real fucking...
what's that-
The comedy one?
with Dylan McDermott?
One way, no.
Okay, but that's
It's
not
a
what
flight
you're
to-
talking
Yeah,
about.
it's a flight
Yeah,
to
right.
Vegas. That looks funny, by the way.
Oh, yeah, from Vegas. Yeah,
Yeah, it looks very airplane-ish because it has an airplane.
But I was bringing that up because you used to be able to smoke and drink all you wanted on planes and stuff
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. It seemed like a really cool time to
Some
fly.
old planes still have the ashtrays on them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
They're
you're
covered
still-
up with the little
yeah.
metal sheets.
You know, I've never flown, guys, ever.
Really?
Ever.
Then how the
I
fuck
don't
did you
like
know
it.
about the ashtray?
Because I'm smart.
Google.
They still let you drink all the cigarettes you want. They
Yeah.
don't stop. They don't stop you.
I just thought if it was true for buses, it was true for airplanes. That's why I knew that the ashtrays were still there.
So there's a bunch of homeless people on the planes. Is that how that works out?
What?
So if it was true for buses. That's my experience with buses.
Those aren't homeless people.
I've flown before, and I don't like it because
Homeless people hang out at the bus
Yeah.
station, not on the buses.
Well,
you have to buy a ticket.
if they get some change,
If they get
have you
some
ever been
change,
to
they
bus?
just ride around all day. That's all they do.
Anyway, buses is not part of planes,
Yeah.
trains. Oh, I guess it's an automobile.
Automobile.
I apologize for any homeless people we offended that are listening to the show. So let's
on
get to
their
your
iPod.
Future Informer.
You talked about Pan Am, which was canceled.
Yeah.
But what are some non-canceled shows that you like, or shows that you've watched in the past that have a specific vehicle
Shows or
or centered
movies.
around shows? Or films that are centered around or heavily involve a vehicle. Like Wings is sent and whatever, and they fly out, and it's an airport.
in the
It's
airport.
a great.
Plane is heavily focused because they're always flying that damn plane.
Yeah.
But what shows, Goldsmith, stand out in your mind,
I mean,
or do you
Wings.
like? Besides Wings, which
Thanks.
Wings is great.
Wings
though.
was the one show on my list.
You used his answer as your example.
Yeah, but that just shows how good it is.
Yeah,
Paul
that
McCartney-
shows how we are.
Was
like,
Paul McCartney in that show?
God damn.
I don't.
Why do you like that show so much?
It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I remember liking it when I was younger.
Okay.
It's funny. It's a
funny.
great cast, and
Yeah.
it really is funny.
I remember not liking it. I thought it was boring. It was like, this is like Taxi, but with planes.
I remember liking
Did
it.
you like
Yeah,
Taxi?
Taxi was funny.
But Taxi had Andy Kaufman
This clearly isn't your
and
segment.
Danny DeVito and Tony Danza, who was not the boss.
and Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah.
It had
Yeah.
a great cast. Holy
did.
shit.
Danny DeVito, come on.
Let's just talk
Yeah.
about Taxi for the rest of the show.
Yeah, right.
It's the third segment. My favorite movie that is airplane centric is Air Force One.
Oh, nice one.
After he talked shit
talked
about
about
the
it
version
earlier.
of the Air Force. That
Well,
one,
he's
the
just
movie-
saying
yeah.
that they didn't show
They
too
didn't
much
show how
about it.
cool the
Yeah.
plane was. in
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah, and you also got Top Gun. That's my number 2.
Eh,
You don't like Top Gun? Okay,
no.
whatever.
It does take my breath away, though.
I wanted to bring up the Langoliers, which has a really weird ending, but it's fairly airplane centric.
Yeah,
it's
it
a
is.
really interesting movie to watch, and then the monsters look weird in the end, so
Okay.
it kind of ruins the ending of it. And
Like
also,
most
if
of the
we're going
Stephen King
Interstellar,
stuff.
then Star Trek Voyager.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
like,
yeah,
yeah.
I can dig it.
I don't dig it. I think it's a shit list. We'll just cut everything out you said.
Okay.
Robbie, shows or movies that stand out in your mind with aircraft?
Well, for movies, Air Force One, because I mean, seriously, it's written
so
here.
good.
I love it. I'm also going to bounce over. First of all, Gary Oldman in that movie, right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Fucking
And
Gary
then,
Oldman in anything, man.
Yeah,
Gary
right?
Oldman's awesome.
Iron Eagle.
I only like Iron Eagle 2.
Iron Eagle 2, I think, is probably one of my more favorite versions. Like, I love Iron Eagle 2, but Iron Eagle 1 is really good. Louis Gossett Jr.
Lou Scott Jr.
His
yeah.
second best movie outside of Diggstown is Iron Eagle 2.
Someone say he's very much like Gary Oldman.
Some people do say that.
No one's ever
For TV show, I'm going to go Tailspin.
Dude, I got Tailspin on my list. Tailspin's so fucking
yeah.
on. Now,
Spin it!
they do type
yeah.
of take some liberties with gravity.
Yeah, they do.
But, dude,
It's
Tailspin's...
first of all, John, I'm going to inform you on this. It's an animation thing. So it's not a documentary.
I never saw him once
no, but
kick
Tailspin.
any clouds.
Yeah. Air Force One, Iron Eagle, Tailspin, Deuces.
Mikey,
Yar.
aircraft-centric films, movies.
Films. I'm going to go with Memphis Belle.
Classic.
Another terrible World War I one. Flyboys. Seen the biplane.
Flyboy's actually, even though it's a mediocre film, it's got a good cast.
Right. You know, it's just I like seeing like the old.
Biplanes and stuff
Still
like that. You like the
biplanes,
World
yeah.
War I aircrafts?
But then again, I'm a big fan of the old war movies from the 40s.
How do you feel about
50s.
Pearl Harbor?
I think it's the funniest bad movie I've ever seen.
It's great once you take out all the love stuff. So
Yeah.
like it's really like
Just
an hour long.
I'd just watch Cuba Gooding Jr. shoot planes for 2
yeah,
hours.
yeah.
You know, the very first film to ever win Best Picture for the Academy Awards was Wings by Howard Hughes, right? Yeah, Howard Hughes. Yeah, not Howard Hawks. That's the Western guy.
No, Howard Hughes is the
Howard
aviator
Hughes,
guy,
yeah,
yeah.
and he did the Wings movie. That was the very first Best Picture winner is the movie about aviation.
Yes.
Neat.
And that's actually on my list, actually, The Aviator. Not my top 5, but that's a great film about...
Planes.
It's DiCaprio, and it's a good...
Oh, yeah.
I think a very good... not perfect,
One
but a
of the
good
best-
representation
yeah, Scorsese. One of the best
Howard
parts of that
Hughes.
movie is seriously Kate Blanchett as Katharine Hepburn. Amazing in that movie.
Is there another one you want to mention, Mikey, before... I say we kind of cut you off there talking about...
Yeah,
You
it's
can cut
fine.
Mike
I'm
off.
used to it.
I love how you call him Mikey.
Mikey.
I was gonna say
what do you like?
another '90s cartoon show that I'm pretty sure everybody forgot about is SWAT Cats.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
They had that awesome freaking
They had that awesome
aircraft.
F-17 or F-16, whichever one it was. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
some sort of jet. But
Yeah.
yeah, I like SWAT Cats.
And then
I forgot
go-
about SWAT Cats.
And then going back to Airwolf. So
Dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun.
Again, that music.
yeah,
I think the last 3 podcasts I've been on with you, you've mentioned Airwolf.
I love
probably
I'm down with any mention of Airwolf.
no,
to be
no,
honest.
because one of the last ones that we were on, it was all about revenge, and there was no revenge in Airwolf.
Now, on the 80s TV podcast we were on, I mentioned Airwolf a lot when we came to theme song.
Yeah.
And I wasn't on that one.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking of.
Is there any that Will wants to mention why he's sitting in with us?
Con Air.
Air.
Oh, but, yeah.
That was the movie that made Nicolas Cage famous.
And the one movie where Nicolas Cage had normal hair.
Yeah,
oh,
he had
wait,
some-
never mind.
Yeah. I'm like, that was a point too
Was
where
that
I
really
was,
his hair?
No.
It was
I
like
think
a
it
skullet,
been.
wasn't it? Sort of because of his hairline.
Yes, it was. It had to be real because if it was fake, they would have given him a full head of hair, right?
Yeah.
He would have looked like Billy Ray Cyrus. I don't know.
I think that was all him.
Isn't that though a name of a hairdryer company? Is
It is, it is.
Why would they use that name?
Well, that's why the movie was very misleading to people,
Yeah.
to the audience.
They thought it was like a hair
lot
shop.
of beauticians went and
Yeah.
were very confused.
Yes.
At that point in time, and I'm not knocking Nick Cage because he's been in some great films. He's also been in a lot of terrible films.
Yeah.
But at that point in time, I'm like, I'm not watching this because of Nick Cage.
Con Air
I'm
is actually
over
a good
it.
movie.
But I ended up watching it because of John Cusack.
Yes.
And I enjoyed the film. It was
Which
a
has
fun movie.
Which has a great Corvette in it, by the way.
Oh, yes.
And it's a Jerry Bruckheimer film who...
It's
no
very
matter-
Bruckheimer-ish.
No matter what you think about him, he knows how to make a fun, exciting popcorn
Good
movie.
summer popcorn action
Yes.
flick. I get 100% agree with that.
I'm going to get a lot of shit later on for a Bruckheimer movie I'm going to be mentioning, but that's later on.
Okay, I think we
Rock.
covered
What
most
about
of
you,
them.
John?
I was going to mention Airplane and Airplane 2,
Yeah.
which are hilarious. Still to this day, just the humor.
I love that
and
the
stuff.
special edition DVD is the Don't Call Me Shirley edition.
I'm sure
Penny's is having a sale.
And I remember, and I just recently saw the poster. I was telling Robbie this for Top Secret. If you remember that movie Top Secret?
Top Secret. I
with Val
almost
Kilmer.
mentioned that.
But
Yes.
when they were advertising it, they're like, from the people that brought you Airplane, not the Wright brothers, is what it says on the poster. Like the Airplane, the movie. So Airplane's hilarious. Airplane 2, I didn't realize the Airplane 2, there's no, with some of the actors return, but the people who made the film are not at all, there's no relation to the people who made the first film. They just had the rights. But 2 is also fucking hilarious.
It is.
They're both really good films. The writing is
William
phenomenal.
Shatner.
Oh,
as
yeah.
the air traffic control guy.
And he looks like he's on the screen or whatever. He just opens the door up.
A bobby pin? What's a man doing with a bobby pin?
All right, I got one more that I want to mention that just popped in my head because we're all Bond fans here, right?
Oh, yeah.
What about Christopher Walken's badass car
Oh.
that turns into a plane as soon as he hits the hangar, right? They just add the wings to it or whatever.
And you got his Zeppelin, too.
Yeah, what about that?
Yeah.
What was
Yeah.
his Bond's villain? What is his name in that? I forget.
I don't know, but that was View to a Kill. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I always
it is-
rember it because he's looking
It's
down.
view,
from the
yeah,
Zeppelin.
it's definitely a View to a Kill. I just couldn't remember his name in it.
I just didn't want to say
Dude.
that because I thought that me and Justin would break out into song.
Oh, but I do love Christopher
Meeting
Walken,
you.
and he's a great bad guy.
With a view to
Mac,
Zorn.
yes,
Yeah, Zorn.
I thought it was Max something. I'm like, no, I'm thinking of Max Shrek.
And he had
Which
one of
is
the
a
most
different-
He had one of the most
different
badass
villain.
henchwomen. She was super badass in that movie. So that was Planes.
That was Planes.
Is there anything else, John? You had?
I think that's. I think that wraps it up, and I think we're going to talk about a different mode of
We're
transportation.
gonna go from planes to trains, as if you didn't know it.
I thought we were going to go from planes and then to a discussion about eggnog.
Yes, eggnog is delicious, but the
It
best flavor eggnog is train flavored eggnog. So
does not
we're gonna
sound
get
good.
to trains because there are a lot of famous pop culture trains and even some decent train movies. Right? Like, seriously, Snakes on a Plane, nobody mentioned, but there was
Yeah.
a Snakes on a Train, like, knockoff movie that they
Are you
made.
fucking serious?
Yes, of course, right? In a world where Transmorphers exists,
Yes.
Snakes on a Train exists. So, John, tell us a little bit about the brief history of the trains.
So trains are choo-choos that ride on tracks.
I'm going to ride that train. It's a choo-choo.
So actually, rail transportation itself goes back to the 6th century BC in ancient Greece.
Whoa.
Yeah, which is fucking mind-blowing. But the first full-scale working railway steam locomotive, that wasn't until 1804 by Richard Trevithick. We'll go with that. If he's listening, I apologize. And then the modern train, as we know it, the diesel locomotive, that wasn't introduced in 1906. Actually, the actual train didn't come about in 1909, but it was actually a joint venture between Rudolf Diesel. Who would have guessed he was involved?
Was there a red nose on every single one of those trains?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Adolf Close, and of course
Whoa. Adolf.
he was German.
I think it's time for us to move past that.
And they worked with a engine manufacturer to give us the first.
Could you imagine a person today name their kid Adolf? I'm sorry. I know that's completely off. Like, John's
Mike-
in the middle of his shit right now.
Mike's middle name is Adolf. Anyway,
9.
So the Prussian State Railways ordered a diesel locomotive from this company, and the first diesel was put into commission in 1912.
Yeah.
So that's the modern. But obviously, before that we had steam, and then of course we learned from movies that you can in fact push a DeLorean with a train.
Yeah, and also the train never got as much power until Kylie Minogue gave us the locomotion. What's your favorite train from pop culture, Justin?
I really liked the movie Snowpiercer a lot.
I was going to mention that,
was
dude.
really
That's fucking
cool.
mind-blowing. With Ed Harris.
I've never seen that. I've heard it's really
Yeah,
good.
Chris Evans.
There's been
Timothy Dalton. He's not in that. I made that part of it up.
They tried to fix climate change, like global warming,
Okay.
and they ended up making the ozone layer too good, and the Earth froze pretty much, and
Okay.
like, everything's snow. So they made this big, huge train, and there's like I can't even remember how many people. It's probably
The
a
science
couple
behind
hundred,
that
a couple
doesn't really
thousand.
work with
Yeah, they all live in like everybody lives on a giant train, and there's like
Yeah.
the upper class.
Oh, that's cool.
And it like the
And
closer
there's a
you
whole
get to the
Soylent
front,
Green thing, too, going on.
yeah, and the closer you get to the front of the train, the more upper class it is, and then there's like a rebellion, and they try to move to the front of the
so
train.
the train itself is really
It's pretty
cool.
cool. It's also a travel
Yeah.
film, I suppose,
Yeah.
because they're moving to the front of the train.
And Ed Harris is like the main dude that runs the train.
Yeah,
And then the guy that's supposed to be like their savior is Captain America.
And Ed Harris will even make a Michael Bay movie good.
Yeah, Ed Harris is awesome.
Talking
got
about The
the-
Rock, not a travel picture, but there you go.
So you got Snowpiercer. Also wanted to mention a TV pick, and it is Trolley from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
that's
a
a
train.
good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, that was like one of my favorite parts of the show.
Why did
Yeah.
it go right in front of the castle? Is that like the ghetto neighborhood for the castle? Like, why is there a train track right fucking there?
It's for the vista. So everybody riding can
Speaking
see
of
it.
children's programs and programs for the slow, Mike, what's your favorite train in pop culture?
My favorite train is the 1958 classic Blue Train.
I don't know what the. Did you just make this up?
No,
I think
I've
you're
seen
thinking
a
of
lot
Blue
of Blue
Streak,
Train.
which
Nope.
is with Martin Lawrence. There's no train in it at all.
no, this is the 1958 classic Blue Train
What color is the train in the movie?
by John Coltrane.
Gone Coltrane.
John Coltrane did an album called Blue Train.
And they made a movie.
No, it's an album.
Oh, okay, I got you. Your
God.
favorite train from pop. Oh,
from
okay.
pop
Damn it.
culture.
Oh, yeah, we're
I
talking
get
about
it.
It's an
I like
album
that.
called Blue Train
I like
by
that.
John Coltrane.
I
I
didn't
like that.
even go there at all.
Me neither.
And
with
then-
my thought process.
Okay, then who did that?
And
I'm
then
gonna
the-
ride that train.
and then
That was
there's
also
actually
John
there's- well,
Coltrane.
Is that Quad City
I don't-
DJs?
Yes, there is a song called Locomotion by John Coltrane on the album Blue Train.
I heard he went through time and he stole that song from Kylie Minogue. is there
He was
truth to that?
he was with Evil Biff,
That's a really good answer,
not good Biff.
Mike. That's a really good answer.
I said I thought I might have screwed this all up.
I
Oh,
didn't.
John
I
Coltrane.
didn't
No, that's
like-
fine. That's
you
fine.
took it in a great place.
Yeah,
Always
that's
out of
fine.
the box. but-
What about you, John? Favorite train from pop culture?
Let's see. The besides the Snowpiercer train, one of my favorites is the damn time traveling train from Back to the Future
Back
3.
to the Future 3.
The
That's
one that
right.
shows up at the
Nice.
tail end.
Yeah, there was a McDonald's toy for that, by the way, from the animated series. That was amazing because you would roll it around and the little choo-choo. What's that thing called? The
smokestack?
The smokestack or whatever. I don't know. It would spin around. It has that spiral thing. Anyway, what were
Yeah.
you saying?
Oh yeah, the animated series. Yeah, the train did make it into the animated series. But yeah, that train, man.
because that's the last. Like the DeLorean got destroyed.
yeah,
That is the time
seriously-
travel machine now.
Yeah.
Seriously, that the last movie I cried in was Back to the Future 3 when the DeLorean I can't even think. Hold on, I gotta hold back tears. When I think about that car getting ran over by a train, it hurts me.
That's
right,
nice.
Right in the subcockles.
It's not a Ford, man. All right, it's not.
I
a
still
Ford.
love DeLoreans, and John DeLorean was a great man.
If I had to pick favorite trains from pop culture, first thing that pops in my mind is the Hogwarts Express.
You almost didn't
Oh,
say
good
mine. You
one.
almost said what? What did you almost say?
I don't know. But the Hogwarts Express is awesome. It's a fun
I
little
knew someone
cool
was going to
train.
say that.
The
Yeah.
3 and the platform 3 and a 3
9 3/4.
9 and whatever it is. That stuff's really cool. But I also want to give a big shout out to Blaine from the Dark Tower book series. Blaine the Train, Blaine the Pain. If you've read those books, you know how badass that character is. That
You know I'm
character is
illiterate.
scary. He's crazy. I know you are, and he's not in the movie. But Blaine from the Dark Tower is amazing. So what's your favorite movie or TV show and or both about trains? Mike?
Movie. I'm gonna have to say The Taking of the Pelham 1 and 2 3.
Nice.
And it's the original.
Yeah.
The original.
The Carpenter. Yeah.
The 1, 2, 3, not the numerals 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Great film. I enjoyed it. So remake was still good, you know.
The remake had Larry Fishburne, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. That was
Larry.
good. That was good. Yeah. Because I know him.
You guys go
Who else is in
bowling.
the remake?
It was Denzel Washington and John Travolta
Oh, okay.
were the two. Big
Oh wait,
ones.
was it not Lawrence Fishburne? Did Robbie?
Yeah,
Lawrence
Robbie-
Fishburne's in that movie.
Okay.
He's in that one or is he in the original?
Denzel Washington's
No,
not
Walter
in that movie.
Matthau and oh shit, the guy that played Quince.
He said
And,
Denzel Washington was in the
Someone
film.
look this up.
It's Denzel.
It is.
It's Denzel
Is it
versus
Denzel?
it's
It is
Denzel.
Denzel in the remake.
I messed it up.
Oh, you did mess it up. You're racist.
Apparently.
We'll cut all this out. Remember when Denzel was in The Matrix?
You got a TV show?
For a TV show, I'm gonna have to say the Train and Welcome Back Carter intro.
Oh, nice.
Welcome back.
Good pick.
Your dreams were your ticket out. You can't mention that without me thinking of that theme song. John, what's your favorite TV show / movie and or whatever? Trains.
The Darjeeling Limited.
Nice.
I love that train, man. What a cool train. Just like the detail.
Yeah.
Wes Anderson did a great job with the train. He gives inanimate objects just so much life and character, and he puts so much detail and love into these objects. And so he does such a good job with the train, just the details, the different. I love that train, man. What a cool train. That makes me want to go and ride on a train.
Yeah.
And then after I saw that, I'm like, I'm gonna go on a fucking train ride. I've never been on one.
Ha.
So I was gonna go to this place, and I looked at driving, and it's like, oh, it's 3.5 hours. I'm like, I'm gonna take a train, save the gas, save the money, not put the miles in my car. I looked it up, like, on a train it's 8 hours. I'm like, fuck that,
Yeah, right.
Fuck that.
You know, a train from Birmingham to New Orleans is like 7.5 hours.
How long does it take to drive there?
To drive from here,
Yeah.
which is an hour and a half from Birmingham, is 6.5 hours to New Orleans.
How long does it take to walk there?
Quite a while.
5.5 hours.
Yeah, the listeners want to know.
Quite a while.
Why does it take less time to walk? You can cut through people's yards, I guess.
Was that everything you got?
That's everything I got.
All right. We are running long here on this segment, and I would apologize, but I think if you're still listening, you're cool with it.
Yeah, hopefully you're still listening.
My
Skip
personal.
me.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, Justin, I'm
But
so
it's okay.
sorry.
I kind of fucked up anyway, and I was scrolled down too far, and Snowpiercer and the Mr. Rogers trolley were on my favorite movie or TV show trains.
Okay.
Well, that
I
works.
had, my last round answer was supposed to be Back to the Future 3 train and the train from Wild Wild West.
Wow,
Well, I think you had your answers backwards because
I think I did.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
nice. good
Also,
picks.
Thomas the Train.
Will, I think, has something to chime in.
Polar Express,
Polar
Express.
Express.
Soul Train.
Soul Train.
You
I was thinking
motherfucker.
about that.
Soul
when
You
my-
Train.
motherfucker. That's right here.
Train.
That was what I was going to say because nobody was going to say that.
Train.
I don't think that's a real train.
Okay. Well, I was going to say Soul Train. Throw Mama from the Train. Remember that movie?
Yeah, there's not much train in it, but yes.
Yeah, but that's a
Yes.
great movie, right?
Yeah.
Under Siege 2, Dark Territory.
Goonies was better.
Yeah, that goes from a boat to a train.
Yeah. I
Like, we
love
need
that
some
one.
sort of vehicle.
Soul Train. And Reisha Sentai Tokuger.
What?
Tokuger is the Power Rangers Japanese series where the Megazord was made out of individual trains. And I'm not even kidding. This is why it's so badass. When it would use its
It sounds
first,
terrible, but keep
when
going.
it would use its first initial power thing, right? There was a train
reading
thing
that.
right up the center, forming the head, and it would fold down to make this big blast, and it looked like a giant cock coming out of this Megazord.
It looked like
Look
a
it
giant
up.
chicken.
Look it up. Reisha
Could-
Sentai Tokuger.
Could they only fight bad guys that are on the track?
Look
Like,
at
oh shit, he's over
Tokulo.
there. Fuck, we can't do anything because we're on these
He's
rails.
30 feet to the left.
Yeah,
That's
we're
what I thought.
screwed.
But I appreciate everybody for listening. We're going to be right back with our automobiles section, and then, of course, moving into the travel movie section, our top 5 favorite travel / road trip movies coming up very soon here on Pop Culture Philosophers. And I am Rockin' Robbie Billups, super pissed off that Will Priest stole my Soul Train bit, but we'll be right back here on Pop Culture Philosophers. Hey everybody, Rockin' Robbie here. I want to talk to you real quick about our YouTube channel. You got to get on YouTube, find Pop Culture Philosophers, and subscribe. There you will find the weekly comic book review, new comic book reviews every single week, also the weekly pop culture wrap-up. It's also the only place you can find the Rockin' with Rockin' Robbie podcast. And we just launched a brand new show called Movie Monday. Every Monday, a new video. We're going to be talking about movies, and we are starting with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Everything from Iron Man all the way up to Avengers Infinity War. That's right, Movie Monday every Monday on our YouTube channel, as well as the weekly comic book review and other such favorites and surprises along the way. So, check us out at youtube.com/popculturephilosophers.
Welcome back to Pop Culture Philosophers. We're talking about planes, trains, and automobiles. I'm, of course, John Hammertime Holshoe, and with me is Rockin' Robbie Billups.
That's right.
Mike Matthews.
Hi.
Justin Goldsmith.
So, dude.
I was going to give you like a funny nickname, but nothing came out. And then sitting in with us today is Will Priest.
My man.
And so we're talking about planes, trains, and automobiles, and we're actually moving on to the most exciting part, in my opinion. Automobiles.
Automobiles.
The car. The automobile. The most important invention in history. More important than the cure for smallpox. Than refrigeration. The automobile, in my opinion, is the most important.
Of course you think
Some
that.
people may disagree with me, but those people are wrong. Their opinion is incorrect. So the
I like how we
automobile-
didn't want to call the audience stupid.
Yeah, I
you could
did
hear that.
hesitate. I did hesitate. So 1808, I think it's Francois Isaac de Revez designed the first car powered by internal combustion, but it was fueled by hydrogen, which ironically is trying to bring back. But 1870, Siegfried Marcus builds the first gasoline-powered combustion engine, which he placed on a push cart. So that was the first, what could be considered an automobile or close to an automobile because there was a combustion engine in a cart. And then in 1885, and this is actually attributed to the first true automobile, Carl Benz. You may know his name since he started a company named after his daughter, Mercedes Benz.
I get it. Carl.
God, Benz. Benz is the part you want to fucking cling on to here.
Is that where a car came from?
What?
Where did the car?
Carl.
Let me go get a Carl.
Cart.
Carl.
I think it came from cart.
Okay.
Anyway,
John?
well, there actually was a game. There's a guy named Otto something that was responsible too, but not. It's pivotal. I think he came up with one of the early combustible engines. Anyway, but
Mobile.
But Carl Benz gave us the first petro gasoline automobile. Considered to be the first production vehicle as well because he made several copies of the same vehicle. So again, Carl Benz, and like I said, his daughter's name was Mercedes. He named his company after her. That'd be Mercedes-Benz is still in fact around. You guys probably have heard of them. And then in 1908, the Ford Motor Company started selling the Model T, which is the first mass-produced automotive, or mass-produced auto. So he wanted to bring it to the average consumer. This idea, when the automobile was created, was that it was for the extremely wealthy. And Ford wanted to bring it to everybody. He wanted everybody to have a car. And so he produced the Model T. And by the time the Model T they quit making it, the total, mind you, it started in 1908, they had produced 15 million Model Ts. That's a lot of damn Model Ts.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I never see them on Craigslist, even though they made that many.
God
So that
bless
was
the
the-
assembly line.
That was, yeah, exactly. And then, despite the disclaimer, like, people, there's that old thing, like, you can have the car any color you want as long as it's black, because the first couple of years were black. But no, later on, they did introduce other colors. You paid a premium, but they did have other colors, like dark black and charcoal. But anyway, that was the invention of the automobile. A really brief history. Obviously, there's more detail on the interwebs, but I love the car. I love the automobile. I love this idea that you can get behind a vehicle and just do whatever, just go wherever you want. You know what I'm saying? Sky's the limit. Well, no, not the sky. The road, whatever this paved road, I guess. That's the fucking limit. So we get to my question. What is your favorite automobile in pop culture? I'm actually going to start with Mike this time and go counterclockwise that the listeners cannot see. Typically, we're sitting at a desk now, but typically we do the show, we sit in each other's laps, so we're all stacked up. But this time we're
usually
sitting
on the bottom.
Yeah, we're sitting at a table. So I'll start with Mikey. Why are you on the fucking bottom? Anyway, they're arguing about this fictional stack of people. What are your favorite automobiles, cars from pop culture?
So I'm really thinking about doing a top 5 or a top 10 of this for the website.
Oh yeah, that'd be a great idea.
So I'm not going to give too much away, but these are 3 that would be in the top 10. So, spoiler. The Mustang from Bullitt, the 1968.
Classic.
Nice.
That dark green, Highland green, I believe. Oh, what a beautiful car.
Hunter green, maybe.
Highland.
Highland?
Highland
Okay.
green.
I'll get more into detail in the writing.
You
It's not really his car.
want to go to the Mustang shit? It is a great car.
It's not his car, but he is responsible for the car. Kowalski's 1970 Dodge Challenger
Oh, from
from The Vanishing Point.
Vanishing Point.
Oh,
movie.
you said
Yeah,
Kowalski. I thought you were talking
Yeah.
about Gran Torino.
Kowalski is the guy that is responsible for delivering the car from Denver.
Yeah, that's
to
the
LA.
most. As far as Dodges go, that's one of the most iconic cars in Dodge movie history.
Well, it's actually it started with Bullitt because it's
The bad guy was also
the bad guy was a Charger, and it was the two biggest car companies at the time going at it. And number 3 that I have on my list right here is the 1973 Ford Falcon XB-GT, also known as the V8 Interceptor from Mad Max.
Love that. Yeah, that Falcon is awesome.
And if you want to, who is the guy from Australia? Eric Bana has a great documentary on the history of that car.
Really?
It was on
Eric
Netflix.
Bana, the actor.
Eric Bana, the actor. Races
Eric
on.
Hulk Bana.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
He's got this. It was on Netflix. It might not be on there anymore. It was on Hulu there for a while. So if you can check it out, it's just a history of that car. And wow,
It's a cool car. You can't get one in the States. It was an Australian-built car that never got exported, but it's a cool car.
and it's kind of one of those, like, they still make it to this day, and you can buy one and import it in, but that's ridiculous. Actually, no, I take that back. You could get one. It was the GTO. Remember when they brought it back?
That's Holden. That's
the Lego
not
set.
Ford.
Was that not?
That's the GTO was a Holden rebadge. That's General Motors. That's a completely different company than Ford.
I thought it
Ford
was,
and General Motors are not.
I couldn't remember. There was something.
Yeah, you're thinking of the Holden, which got rebadged as a GTO when they brought it back here.
Yeah.
But that car never made it stateside, and now, and I hate to make listeners sad, but I'm pretty sure Ford's closing down all production in Australia
Yeah, I think so.
altogether, if they haven't already. So, sorry guys, if you're Australian, you're just now getting this news. Thanks for listening in the out. But
Sorry for the broken hearts.
yeah, but that's a great list, man. Those are some iconic cars.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
really
so
good.
that's three. That's
Yeah.
3 of the 10. So
What about you, Robbie? What are some iconic cars in pop culture that stand out to you?
The Batmobile.
The Batmobile. Which iteration of the Batmobile, or just the Batmobile in general, is badass?
If I had to pick a favorite, it's going to go with the Superpowers toy Batmobile. If you notice, all my favorite vehicles in movies make awesome toys.
Yeah.
That's a great one. Of course, movie-wise, you can't beat the 1989 Batmobile.
Oh my God, it's so
You know,
badass.
and in fact, the 1992 Batmobile is just slightly cooler because it's got the Bat missile
yeah,
function, which is dope. I also want to give shout-outs to Kit, obviously,
Yeah,
a
Knight
great
Rider.
pop culture vehicle there, and the TMNT Party Wagon, dude. Another great toy. All 3 of those were great toys, to be honest with you. Those are my picks, though. I love them. The Batmobile is one of the absolute classic automobiles in cinema, in comic books, in animation, in television, whether it's the Adam West one, whether it's the animated series, which is actually probably my favorite Batmobile. I completely forgot about that one. But just all over pop culture, the Batmobile, to me, reigns supreme.
yeah. I love the Batmobile, and there's always a cool version of it for every generation.
Absolutely. Even the Tumbler is a badass Batmobile.
Yeah, Tumbler's not my favorite,
It's
but I
a
really like it.
badass Batmobile.
Yeah, and I even like the Affleck one. It's pretty awesome. My favorite,
Yeah,
though,
it is, actually.
the Keaton one by far.
Yeah,
like
of
you
course.
said. Love the Keaton one. What
That's
about-
is that a modified Corvette or something?
yes,
It's
Yeah.
it's
Yes.
a Corvette inspired, but it's a custom built frame.
I thought they used a Corvette
They used
chassis.
the-
It's not a
use the
Corvette
Cor-
chassis. It's like an Impala or something. It's a stretched.
it's a
It's a
Corvette.
stretched Chevrolet chassis. We discussed this. Do you don't remember this discussion we had like 2 years ago?
it's been 2 years.
It's definitely.
I'm googling it.
The front. There's definitely. It's Corvette inspired. Don't get me wrong, but it's stretched out. It's a custom chassis. I mean, if you could modify a Corvette, people would be doing that. There's a reason you don't see kit cars.
Actually, thinking about it now, it definitely does look more because for whatever reason, all these years I've thought of other Corvettes other than the actual '80s Corvette at the time. It does look a lot.
yeah,
I
if
can
it's
see that.
there's definitely inspired by.
I
and
think
they
Corvettes
used-
just are inspired by the Batmobile.
that could be too. Well, it's definitely
Time to go mobile.
a custom car. If they used parts, the only thing that was built off a real car in the whole history of the automobile or the Batman series was the original from the 60s was based on a Ford concept car that they just took and painted and modified.
Was it
slightly.
one of those like future world cars?
Yes, it
or
was.
something?
It was a
Okay.
Ford that was like
Okay.
a show car. I think it was the
It
Ford
looks like
Futura or something like that.
It
So
looks like
was
one
a
of those
modified-
retro future things from the 60s.
it was a Ford car. But yeah, Batmobile is a great answer. Every version, awesome.
Yeah.
What about you, Goldsmith?
I wanted to first bring up the Bandit from Smokey and the Bandit.
Oh yeah,
Because when my mom and dad first started dating, my dad had a Bandit edition Firebird, the same one, not the same one from the movie, but
that
one just
style.
like
Yeah,
it,
the black
yeah.
with the gold.
with the gold
yeah.
bird. Yeah. I really love is my favorite Bond car, the 1997 BMW 750 from Tomorrow Never Dies.
Of
that
all
has
the fucking cool
gadgets.
cars he's
I know.
picked, you go with the Beamer?
And it's the one that's the businessman car. Because
Or the Bimmer, I guess.
It
Whatever.
had the best gadgets in it.
Was that the one that he could
remote
control?
with the phone.
his phone. Yeah.
The inspiration
He's
for
in the back seat.
the flip out phone
Yeah.
that flipped up. Yeah.
yeah.
Even though he had a Lotus, he's had all these
Yeah, I
cool
know.
cars.
He's had so many
It's
great
small-
cars, but that one.
some guy that worked for T-Mobile watched that and was like, "Holy shit!"
And then we had the LG Voyager
Yeah.
that came out. But my what?
It is an Impala chassis with a Chevy V8.
Nice.
Was based and modified from a 70s Corvette body.
The body.
So they modified a 70s Vet body.
Yeah, but that's like saying,
But the chassis, because you can see in the wheel well, everything. You can
I'd
tell
say
it's a
10% was leftover Corvette. I'm just saying they modified the shit out of it
Yeah.
and made amazing car, mind you. I don't like the Corvette. I'm not like the Corvette. That's
You talking
that's
about the Beamer?
iconic.
The Beamer?
No, we
From
went back
Tomorrow
to
Never
we went back to the
Yeah.
anyway.
No,
of
that was
all
my
the
favorite
fucking
Bond car
cars,
because
that's
the
your favorite
gadgets.
Bond car.
Because the gadgets were the coolest. I think mainly it's because
Get
it
off-
had like
get off
the,
it. Put your
the
headset down.
spikes
Get
and
the fuck
shit,
out of the
and the
studio.
remote. You could remote control it from his phone.
I do remember that part was badass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I
That's a
remember him
great
sitting
chase.
there in his back seat, and I was like,
Yeah,
"This
he
is
laid
a
in the
little
back seat.
unrealistic."
Yeah.
It's not.
No, it's not. It's not now, but
But my
that was
absolute,
the futuristic Bond movie.
But my absolute favorite car from it's from a TV show is the 1967 Chevy Impala from Supernatural.
Oh yeah, Supernatural
okay.
had that.
Because
Oh.
they have so much story. We've been listening to that song for like 6 days straight. Dude. Asia. I can't think of another vehicle other than like the Enterprise and stuff like that that has more history and mythology behind it other than this car over the course of the 13 years of the show, because the Sam and Dean Winchester drive around in this car everywhere. They don't fly or take boats or trains or anything. They drive everywhere in this car. It's got like 2.5 million miles on it probably.
Yeah.
Their dad bought it when like right after he met their mom.
Yeah, right before he died in Gotham.
What?
It's
Jeffrey
just,
Dean Morgan. Come on, man.
Oh,
Jeff-
okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was in the show.
He was in the
he was
show?
their dad. Yeah.
Oh. Well,
Spoilers.
He got
No, I
transported
mean
to
Gotham.
a different world.
Or are
He
you
was
talking
in-
about the
he
movie?
was in, BVS,
No, I
man.
thought you were
Come
talking
on.
about the show.
He's
Gotham.
Thomas Wayne.
I thought you were talking about the show guy. Anyway,
He's also
so it was their
Megan.
dad's car, and then he gave it to Dean, and then they did all the hunting. It's just, there's so much mythology, and there's an entire episode actually. Spoilers, Will, and anybody. I mean, it's not actual spoilers
I've only gone
It doesn't
through 8.5
matter.
seasons, and I feel like I've been watching Supernatural my whole life.
because it's so great.
I've never made it
I
past
didn't know it was
season
going on
2.
that long.
I think it's
still
a-
on?
It's 13. They're in season 13 right
holy
now.
shit.
I think it's a mediocre show with amazing episodes. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, but
Yeah,
you're
I
wrong.
Oh, okay. I got a
But
quick.
there's actually an entire episode where that is narrated
By the
about the car.
Jinx, you owe me the coke.
And like there's no spoilers. It's okay. But like the narrations, like it starts off the episode talking about it coming out of the factory.
Yeah.
And like it shows stock footage of him.
And it's
an
the
Impala
guy
being
from
put
Dark
yeah,
together.
Crystal?
yeah, like Chevrolet.
The guy from Dark Crystal, he's like, in a world.
No, it's
We're
somebody
in
from the
Palace,
show.
run
Oh,
wild.
It's somebody that's in the show.
Another time.
Anyway, yeah, that's
I want to give one
Yeah.
quick shout out real quick. I forgot about this one. The Charger from Blade. Blade's Charger.
He's got an old school Charger. though,
Yeah,
man.
and I'm not the biggest car guy. Because if you notice my answers, the party wagon and the Batmobile, I'm not the biggest car guy. And there are a lot of cool Bond cars and all that shit. But like his Charger, that was the first I was like, what car is that? And someone's like, that's the Dodge Charger. I was like, I want one of those. And at the time they were like, well, they don't make them anymore, Robbie. And I'm like, oh, really? Well, they should. And guess what? They listened.
well, the new
free-
one sucks. The
Well-
Challenger's cool, but the new Chargers look so damn
Well, the
lame.
old school one that
The
he
old school
has
Charger
is awesome.
badass.
And
Yeah.
his motorcycle is awesome too. Anyway, Will, I think, had something to chime in.
Mach 5.
oh the Mach 5
5.
from the Speed Racer.
Another
Speed Racer.
great pop culture reference in the
Yeah.
Presidents of the United States of America song, I will survive in my Mach 5, and my Mach 5, I will survive.
And then they made that movie, that Academy Award winning Speed Racer.
I don't care
movie.
what you say, that Speed Racer movie is awesome. Watch it on
Awesome.
shrooms and tell me what you think.
So I think you guys mentioned.
We condoning drug use
I think
now?
you mentioned most of the ones I
Always.
wanted to mention.
The
other
Batmobile?
Than, you mentioned the Batmobile. He talked about the Bullet Mustang. I've never watched Supernatural, and I don't plan to.
High five.
Rude.
I think,
also,
I think you should watch the top 10 episodes that
I'm
me
gonna
and Justin
say
tell you
the
are.
two
the top 10.
okay, maybe I'll check out a couple. I changed real quick.
Just watch the
Maybe I'll
show.
check. The van from the A-Team.
Yeah.
Oh, good
Pretty
pick.
accurate. And I actually looked at old GMC Safaris to convert because it wouldn't look like it'd be that hard.
Yeah.
Well, the party wagon had more cool features.
Yeah. The car
was a
from-
cooler toy.
The car from the Flintstones.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, if that counts.
Oh,
as
that was not an automobile.
They're
It's a
pushing
manual
themselves.
mobile.
Yeah. And then, of course, the DeLorean from the Back to the Future movie.
Yeah.
I knew you. Yeah, I figured you were all about the
Yeah.
DeLorean because you just love DeLorean himself.
John,
and
big fan of John DeLorean. I like the
and that
car. It was
car.
a cool car. Not a fast car,
There was a
but
dude
iconic
that
car.
drove that car here in town. He used to always come to the movie theater when we worked there like eons ago. And he would always park there, and we would just go look and sit around the fucking DeLorean and smoke weed and all that. Yeah.
I don't recall any of that.
John didn't. Actually, John was too square to do that. I'm going to say John just sat around like, who has this car?
John,
I'd been hanging out with John then, so
So we talked about our favorite.
Hold on, Will. I think you guys got one more. We told him not to interrupt too much. You remember that, right? And every second I look over at Will, and he's like, "Hold on, I got something to say."
What you
like I
got
said,
here?
there's so many cars.
What's
Speaking
that?
of the
What's
mic.
that? What's that?
Ecto 1.
Ecto 1.
Oh my
Nobody
God.
said that.
How the fuck did we forget Ecto 1?
I was going to put it down, but
Nobody
nobody.
cares.
I thought
Good.
everybody would be talking about that one. That's a great one. It's like an old school ambulance / hearse or whatever.
The meat wagon.
Well, the old school ambulances look that
Yeah,
way. I
they
thought
did.
they got an old. Was it an actual hearse in the movie?
Hearse.
Yeah, it was a hearse.
Well,
Okay.
but they did use them for both hearses and ambulances
Back in
that
the
era.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figure if they would have gotten the ambulance, they would have already had the signals and everything.
You could probably use the same vehicle for both. Like if you
Another-
we didn't make it to the hospital.
Another-
this is a hearse now.
Another great toy.
Oh yeah,
The Ecto
dude,
1.
I had that and it was awesome. I wish I could find it.
Well, we had one.
We had one.
Deep, not long ago.
The Jeep from Jurassic Park influenced
Oh yeah,
my,
there's a
like,
guy in town that has that Jeep from
Yeah.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Not the one.
Yeah,
Like,
you
it's
just
the
have to
thing-
get a '90s one with the square headlights. It's like a '94, right?
That was
It's all
my
painted.
first and
Is that a
second
Wrangler?
Jeeps were, yeah, it's a Wrangler
Yeah.
YJ.
But YJ.
Yeah, 92
Y2J.
Jeep Wrangler YJ
What
Sahara.
about the truck from Fall Guy?
Fall Guy?
What about Wolverine's Jeep? That was a great toy from the X-Men animated series.
Okay, now we're getting off on.
What about the
vehicles.
General Lee?
Actually, the General Lee.
I'm not a big fan.
Yeah.
I'd rather
Are
have
you
Blades.
talking about Chargers earlier?
I'd rather have Blades Charger. It was black and cool.
Generally, he's more iconic, sir.
It's black and cool and a little bit bigger.
Yeah, and the dudes
Under
at
the
Hazards
hood.
weren't a big fan of
Where it
black.
counts.
I just like Wesley Snipes. I would lick his sweat.
What the fuck?
Wesley Snipes, if you're listening,
All right,
our address is.
Can we get on to
Next bit.
favorite movie or TV show about cars?
So he has a
trucks,
crush on Wesley
etc.?
Snipes, and yet he doesn't know the difference. Never mind. Let's move on. So we talked about our favorite cars from pop culture. Let's talk about movies and TV shows that may have featured those vehicles. And I'll actually start this time with Goldsmith. What are some of your favorite movies, shows featuring automobiles, or automobiles were a big part of the show besides Supernatural? Because I have a feeling you're going to bring that up.
Well, yeah, that's a given, but it's not really car centric. And I tried to pick. Well, my favorite show about cars, Top Gear.
Yeah, I was going to say Top Gear.
It's-
Now the Grand
Top Gear
Tour.
is
You and I
great.
are
Yeah,
big fans of
the
those
Grand-
shows, but that's
yeah.
a car.
It's very
Show.
It's literally a car
Do
show.
you watch now that Grand Tour is out and those guys are no longer associated with Top Gear? Do you even watch Top Gear anymore? Because I quit watching.
I
occasionally.
haven't. I kept saying I was
Okay.
going to, but I haven't yet.
But how are you liking the Grand Tour?
I like it. Like it's not. It's the best part of Top Gear was the specials where they went and traveled.
Yeah,
they did
crazy
the,
things,
Like going
yeah.
they drove to the North Pole and drove across Africa and South America and stuff like that. Vietnam. That's one of my favorite
Yeah.
episodes. But it's because they've got the camaraderie.
Yeah,
and
let's go across the River Cock is what they went across
river-
instead of the
bridge
right
across the
river.
River
Yeah,
Cock.
river Cock. Which is a real river.
Yeah, yeah.
But great. Yeah, I love Top Gear. I really do like the Grand Tour. I wish there was more episodes. I don't know. There's something missing, but I still enjoy it. And I'm happy to see those three guys because I like Matt LeBlanc. I like some of the other people that are
Yeah.
associated with the new show, but they're not Jeremy, Hammond,
Yeah,
May.
exactly.
Those guys make the show.
Yeah, they are Top Gear.
Yeah.
So the new stuff. That's why I haven't watched because I didn't watch it because like I'm not super into cars and stuff like that. But I watched it for them and their
their camaraderie and but they love cars and you
Yeah.
can tell it goes through. But the Grand Tour is
It's great.
we got to get Amazon to be a sponsor for the show since we're pimping their
Yeah.
the Grand Tour is awesome and if you have Prime, check it out.
Yeah.
Can we get James May on the show? Because that'd be awesome.
Yeah, he's going to be on the show, but he's going to tell people over the air in a 2-hour segment how to disassemble a pocket watch.
Did somebody say Matt LeBlanc was on the new Top Gear?
Yes,
he
he's
hosts
the
the
new
new
host.
Top Gear. Yeah, they went and got an
You
American.
just
It's a British
sold
show.
me, man. You just sold me.
It's a British
You just
show.
sold
I don't
me,
know how
man.
he ended up on the show. Is the
Because
host?
he
Because
was
they
the-
liked him when he was-
one of the drivers that was always on top of the board.
Yeah.
It's very personalitable.
Personable.
I mean, I understand that he was the
Rattler.
celebrity that they got along with most, and he's an automotive and bike enthusiast. But yet, for an American to host the show breaks my brain, especially when they had Chris Evans for a while. Not that Chris Evans, but the Chris Evans that nobody likes. Chris Evans. Who
That's the
no
Chris
longer on
Evans
the
I was
show.
talking about. I was thinking about. I thought. So you
The
mean
British Chris Evans?
Yeah, you mean the Human Torch one then?
God damn it.
Anyway.
So Robbie, some of your favorite. We've went off on like this side rant about Top Gear, and people have already quit listening to the show. But
I think
if
people
they're
like Top
still,
Gear.
Don't worry, they'll,
Yeah.
they'll
Still
come back
listening.
from
It's
me.
the most watched nonfiction program ever on television.
All right, Robbie.
So you're asking me?
Favorite movies or shows with
Well,
vehicles,
when I
with
said
automobiles.
earlier in the show, I said there's a Jerry Bruckheimer production.
Bruckenheimer?
Bruckheimer production that I absolutely love that I probably get a lot of flack for. This is it. Gone in 60 Seconds, the remake with Nicolas Cage.
All right.
I love that movie.
All right,
I
Ramblers,
love
let's
that
get
mo-
rambling.
I love that movie so much, man.
It
And
does
I
have a
think
great cast.
It's got a great cast. It's super funny. Giovanni Ribisi, Nicolas Cage, Angelina Jolie, Vinnie Jones, that funny dude. I don't know his name.
Isn't Scott Conn? James
Scott Conn,
Conn's
yeah,
kids
James
in it,
Conn's
right?
son, Scott
Yeah.
Conn, and no, I'm thinking of Ocean's 11. My bad. I was about to be like Casey Affleck's in it too with him. No,
He's
that's
not.
that's Ocean's 11. Gone in 60 Seconds, my favorite movie about cars.
I do
period.
love Eleanor. I'll give you
Yeah,
that.
I love that movie. I know it's not the greatest.
Yeah,
But-
it's one of those fun movies you still can enjoy the movie.
When I went from VHS to DVD, that was the first DVD I bought. When I went from DVD to Blu-ray, guess what? That was the first Blu-ray I bought. I love that movie so much.
So when you go to 4K, is that gonna be the next thing? Is the first thing you buy?
I think I gave up.
Real life.
But if I can do VR, I'll do VR Gone in 60 Seconds. Though I will tell you, the jump that he makes at the end of that movie is the worst CG ever. Just do a jump.
Yeah.
Just make it realistic and do an actual jump. But whatever. Did you have something to say, Mike?
real life confession. Gone in 60 Seconds soundtrack is in my car.
It's a great
right now.
soundtrack. It's got Moby. Moby does the
tons
themes.
of stuff
Dude,
on there.
so I love that movie. TV shows, Monster Garage.
All right.
Do you guys remember that with Jesse James?
Yeah.
My nephew is named after Jesse James. Not the outlaw,
Huh.
but the car guy.
At least in years from now, when people forget the car guy, they'll be like, "Oh, you're named after the." And he could just say, "Oh yeah, I'm named after the cowboy."
Yeah, right. And also Wacky Races.
Oh yeah, dude, that's on my list.
Yeah, right.
Wacky dude, they have a crazy vehicle. Dude, that was part of my childhood growing up.
yeah.
Eating cereal and watching Wacky.
Dick
Wacky
Dastardly and
Races.
Muttley. Come on.
Yeah,
Come on.
great.
That's
great.
what I got.
Yeah, great list. And of course, there's a cartoon on your list that it's affiliated with toys.
Great toys, by
Yeah,
the way.
great toys. What about?
They didn't do Gone in 60 Second toys.
I'm surprised.
I would buy a Nicolas
Yeah.
Cage from that movie.
You can buy a Tomb Raider figure and you're halfway there.
I know. This is. I know we're running long. I don't care. Giovanni Ribisi at one point in that movie makes his older brother Nicolas Cage, because Nicolas Cage has to come out. He's a badass like car thief. And he has to come out of retirement to help his little brother out.
Yeah, which is.
And he tries to make him some like scrambled eggs or something, and he just completely botches it. It's one of my favorite moments of the movie. Has nothing to do. Anyway, and then the dude with the snake. Never mind. There's a snake up my ass. Never mind. I love that movie.
When they're still in the Hummer.
What about you, Mikey? Favorite
Nobody
movies
said,
or shows?
movie. Nobody said it, and it kind of goes with the theme of everything. Cannonball Run.
Oh,
1
yeah.
and 2.
Nice.
All the different cars.
That's one of the things I would love to do. Is one of the actual real life. They still do.
Yeah.
Like real cannonball runs. You're not supposed to speed. Everybody fucking speeds. It's expensive to get into that. But anybody watch Gas Monkey Garage? He kind of got into that early on before he did the Gas Monkey Garage show. The Richard whatever his name is Rawlings. But that's something they really do, like gumball rallies and stuff across the states. Probably inspired by that, I'm assuming. But I love those movies. Fun movies. Great cast.
And then for a TV show, I'm surprised Robbie didn't say it because he loves it so much. So much. He talks about it all the time whenever something comes into the deep toy related. I am talking about Mask, specifically
Oh my
the
God.
Thunder
I
Hawk.
love Mask.
Mask.
Yes.
The Thunderhawk technically is an aircraft.
It's a car and a plane. I was gonna say it during the planes, but then I was like, oh, hold off. I'll save it for the vehicles.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of vehicles.
That's
that do
the red
different
one
things.
with the fold-up wings,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
But they're also...
Matt Tracker.
And then
There was
the
a
18-wheeler is the 18-wheeler is the
What's the
Rhino.
Corvette? It looks like a Corvette. If it's not a Corvette, it looks Corvette-ish. What's the black Corvette that the front turns around? Does it turn to a snow vehicle? What does the Corvette turn into?
It's like one of the water vehicles.
It's a water vehicle.
I
That
think
makes sense. It's a watercraft.
I think it's an RX-7.
There's one that looks
Okay.
kind of like a 57-ish Chevy.
Yeah.
the Bel Air.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
none of
was
them are
it.
like licensed, so they're all very similar to
Mask.
vehicles you've seen on the street.
My name is Matt Tracker, part of
Yeah.
the Mobile Armored
I tried
something
watching
command.
it not too long ago, and I really liked the show, except I'm really annoyed by the kid and that fucking robot. Because that's most of the show. The kid. Remember that kid with the stupid white robot?
Hobby, I think that's his name is Hobby.
Yeah. But the vehicles are amazing. Yeah, the vehicles are awesome. And that was something obviously done with toys in mind. Like, we can
Yeah.
sell these toys.
Great
to these
toys.
Dumb kids. So, did you want any, Will, did you have any to chime in? Any movies stand out in your mind or TV shows?
The first Fast and Furious.
Oh, Fast and the Furious. Nobody brought that up. Probably because I was
That's the
never,
only one I've watched.
Yeah, I was never a big fan.
It's a fun
of that.
popcorn movie.
Yeah,
When
it is definitely a
rip-
popcorn
when
movie.
is it the opening scene where they're at the 18-wheelers and they're going underneath it and all that? That's a really fun scene, man. It really is.
I haven't seen a single one. I want to watch them all.
I'll tell you
in
this:
tandem.
if they would have put The Rock in the first one, they would have had me from the start. But no, the little Bow Wow instead of The Rock. Like they kind of like went backwards in that movie, in that movie franchise. They start small and go big and get strong.
Start with the little guy.
They start, yeah. I mean, Little Bow Wow's in 2 or no, actually he's in 3. Ludacris is in 2. He's in 3. He's Tokyo Drift.
Tokyo, yeah.
Only
Anyway,
because of I worked at so many movie stores. I know all the Fast and Furious movies.
I think you guys mentioned all the ones I wanted to mention except for Knight Rider, but we talk about the vehicle, of course. There was the show, but yeah, I think we discussed most of the big ones, and then of course I think the only one we left out, Fast and Furious-ish, is that Need for Speed movie with Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad.
Oh yeah,
that I haven't seen, but they did all practical effects. So there's some crazy shit that happens, but it's all practical. And then Michael Keaton's apparently in it as like a DJ. And I heard it was actually good, but I haven't seen it. But I'll watch it.
I enjoyed
At
it.
some point in time, I'll watch it.
But he's not a DJ like as in music. He's a
No.
DJ as in like DJ
From Full House.
No, not from Full House. I was gonna go Last Jedi. Like he's Benicio del Toro from Last Jedi. Anyway,
but I'm gonna watch it at some point in
Brilliant.
time because I heard it was good, but it was very. And somebody, I just the only thing I remember about Need for Speed is I saw the trailer, and then somebody wrote, "What is this? Like the 6th film now? They're making another one?" And I'm like, "They never made a Need for Speed film."
I'll tell you this though.
Somebody obviously.
I've never
confused it
seen
with
that
Fast and
Need for.
Furious.
I've never seen that Need for Speed movie, but for the original PlayStation, Need for
Yeah.
Speed Hot Pursuit was one of my favorite
Yes.
games ever.
Oh, it's amazing.
I
It's still
love that
It's still a
game.
great game.
Yes.
Yeah, Hot Pursuit, not just Need for Speed.
Yeah. Hot Pursuit, the one
Which-
where the cops.
yeah.
yeah.
Need for
And they
Speed
set
was-
up the roadblocks. You're like, fuck these guys. I'm just driving right through it. It doesn't work. Spoilers. I was just letting you guys know. Strategy wise, it does not work.
So we talked about our favorite car movies, but of course, what's a car movie without a car chase?
Oh yeah.
So let's talk about our favorite car chases, because there's some amazing, iconic car chases. Let's actually start with Goldsmith again. Favorite movie car chase, or one that stands out in your mind as being iconic.
Well, I'm glad you started with me. I'm going to make this short and sweet. I didn't think too hard about this. I just went with the best one of all time.
Blues Brothers?
And it's the Blues Brothers.
Ha! I knew it.
Yeah,
I knew
that's a
it.
I
good
mean,
one.
you can't get...
It's
Through the mall?
Yeah, through the
Yeah,
fucking
through
mall.
the
Who didn't want to
mall.
drive their car through a mall?
And then they
I may do it tonight.
And then they sent the Nazi guy off the end of the road. It just...
And the cop
the
cars
best car
crash
chase.
into each
We've all
other.
seen it.
Yeah, and it's inspired. I mean, it's definitely, there's been other shows, movies, cartoons that have been inspired by, you know what I'm saying, have drawn from that Blues
Yeah.
Brothers, specifically that race.
And it...
or that car chase.
At the time, I think there's been a movie... It may actually be Gone in 60 Seconds... I can't remember what it is, but there's one movie at least since then that has beat the record. But it was the most cars destroyed in a movie was during the Blues Brothers.
Oh yeah,
car
and
chase.
it was probably either one of the Fast and Furious movies, or you're right, maybe Gone in 6 Seconds. But yeah, those cop cars, they destroyed how many damn
and they bought all
and
those
old Impalas.
from like police
auctions or something.
auctions from like old like all the, if you notice, like all the cars that get wrecked are old police cruisers, and that's because they bought them all at the California Highway Patrol auction.
That makes sense. I mean, if you're going to buy them, just recommend buy the
or
cheapest.
Chicago, wherever.
Yeah, wherever they bought them from. I think it takes place in Chicago, but I think maybe they bought them.
Yeah.
But great, iconic. It's probably one of the top ones.
It's got like I thought about racking my brain and picking another one, but there's that's a great.
What about you, Robbie? Iconic or ones that car chases that stand out in your mind, other than of course the really CG'd bridge scene from Gone in 60 Seconds.
Well, I'm going to say this straight up. Take away that little CG bridge scene part. Gone in 60 Seconds is an amazing car chase.
There's several amazing.
Because you
okay?
got dreamy Timothy Oliphant in there doing
God damn it!
One of
You
my-
and your love for Timothy Oliphant.
Just went through a wall.
one of my favorite. Yeah, that right there. Are you okay?
Are you
Are
sure?
you okay? Are you sure? Because you just went through a wall. That's one of my favorite bits ever in a movie. Born Identity.
Which one? The one with the new one with the Charger, or which one? Because there's some
The
cool
first
car
one.
chases.
The first movie.
The first one.
With that like little tiny car, like the first like big car chase that's in that movie. It's done by the same guy that did Ronin, I believe, right? Didn't
Yeah,
you
if
say
I'm
that?
not
The same
mistaken.
the same choreographer?
Have you seen
Yeah.
the new one? Because there's a crazy
I haven't.
Charger car chase like in Vegas.
I haven't, but
You should
is
see
that,
it.
Okay,
The car chase is
because
amazing.
even Born Ultimatum has a great one with the motorcycle, and he's going through like the houses and all that stuff. That one's great. Also, want to throw out Baby Driver. That opening scene from Baby Driver
Yeah.
was one of the craziest, coolest car chases I have ever
Yeah, and you
ever
realize
seen.
when you're starting the movie, you don't realize his driving abilities.
Bell bottoms.
Yeah.
Bell bottoms. Dude, that whole scene, music and everything. Like,
Yeah.
and major props to my lady Alicia for getting me to watch that movie because it's amazing.
I give major props to I forgot the director's name.
It's Ethan Wright.
Yeah,
Edgar
Wright.
Edgar Wright. Ethan
yeah.
Wright?
Shaun of the Dead.
Edgar Wright. But I love Edgar
Hot
Wright.
Fuzz,
So
that
once
guy.
they said
Scott
he was doing a
Pilgrim.
new film, I was on board.
Yeah.
Loved it.
That opening scene to Baby Driver, amazing.
I have a real quick question that just popped in my head. In the movie Total Recall, when Arnold Schwarzenegger gets in the Johnny cab and he takes it over, is there somebody chasing him when he rips Robert Picardo's robot body out of the vehicle and takes over? Is
I don't
somebody
remember him
chasing
running from anybody.
I don't remember.
I don't
Okay.
recollect that.
It's been a while.
Okay, it's not a chase.
I haven't seen it in a while.
Go ahead. Go on.
But I do like
Thank
the Johnny
you,
cabs.
Justin.
Are really
Justin
cool.
says we can go on.
Yeah, thank you. We appreciate. Are there any car chases you want to talk about, Mikey? I'm sure there's some that stand out. In your mind.
I do, but I want you to go first.
Okay. The only one I was going to mention besides the Blues Brothers, Bullet would probably be. I mean, I'm a big Mustang fan, but the car chase in San Francisco when they're going down the hills and chasing the Charger, that's pretty iconic, I think, and that's something that a lot of people think of, especially those hills. I mean, it's part of movie history. So Bullet's a big one. There's a couple other ones, but those are the two that probably stand out the most, in my opinion. And I was also going to say the opening of Quantum of Solace when those Beamers, I think they're Beamers, are chasing they're chasing the Aston Martin, and he's got Mr. White in the trunk the whole time, but you don't know this. But dude, I think
he opens up the trunk later.
They were filming that, and either in a stunt driver,
They really put him in the trunk.
Yeah, a stunt driver either was hurt or killed filming that. Believe it or not, I think he was just injured. But they that's that in there. Yeah, they're going up that hill, and they got the machine guns, and they're shooting at him, and that's what a great car chase in the very beginning. And people knock that film, but I enjoy that film. But that car chase is the best car chase that was ever in a Bond.
I'm trying
film.
to remember that one. It's
very
been a while since
opening
I saw Quantum
of the
Solace.
film.
That's such a great movie.
What? Now on to you, Mike. What do you think?
One of them that I wanted to bring. I was gonna say Bullet, but I knew you were gonna, so you Mustang guys let you have it.
Oh, how nice of him.
The French Connection. Me and Robbie talked about it.
It's on my list, but marked out.
But isn't
I thought of Baby Driver.
Isn't he chasing a train?
He's chasing a train. So
It's not car and car, but I will allow it.
but it's
Blues
it's still
Brothers
a
is marked
great
out,
scene.
too.
It's
It is a great scene. Yeah.
And then one of them that doesn't get a lot of recognition because the whole movie is a car chase. It's a
Mad
mad
Max?
world.
Oh, a Mad World.
Yeah.
I thought you were
Yeah.
going to say Mad Max.
No,
Mad
That's why I was like, yeah.
Sorry,
Mad
he
Max.
interrupted me.
Yeah.
There's like several car chases in there.
That's what I do.
So
Yeah.
mean,
I actually
it's-
forgot about that.
the end is the biggest one because then it becomes a foot chase, and then the whole movie is. It's
And then the person turns into a car. No, that part that doesn't happen.
that was actually a cartoon. I can't remember what it is.
That's great. There's some really iconic car chases. Is there any Will that stand out in your mind that you want to bring up?
Smokey and the Bandit.
Smokey
and the Bandit.
Sure.
Bandit.
Buford or T Justice
Buford D. Justice.
versus the Bandit.
Oh yeah, you guys can't hear him. He's talking about Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah,
Jeff Buford
but
T.
that- really,
Justice.
I'm sure that movie alone helped Pontiac move a lot of cars.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Not a lot enough to
dad
keep
bought
them
one.
from dying off as a company, but And that's how he got your mom, I heard, is that car.
Probably.
There's a TV episode about it too.
All right, guys, I hope you appreciate this episode. We haven't done a podcast since November, so we're kind of like, we've been on a big break, and now we're giving you this like extra-sized episode.
Yeah, like a giant X-Men issue.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Exactly. Welcome back. PCP, we are here. We talked about planes. We talked about trains, not boats. And we talked about automobiles. Planes, trains, and automobiles are methods of travel.
I would
Transportation.
agree with that. I'd say 90% of our listeners agree with you.
We're about to be getting into our top 5 movies here, and we're going to be doing top 5 travel pictures, road trip movies, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to talk real quick about the philosophy of the travel picture. What exactly does it mean? Well, first of all, any film can be considered a journey, right?
Yeah.
So, first of all, a travel picture is about a journey. But almost any movie can be considered a journey. In fact, every movie should be a journey.
Yeah,
but
if there's not a journey, then you need your money back.
Yes, but no movie purely encapsulates the hero's journey more than a road trip movie, more than a travel picture, right? These movies explore themes of exploration, and they harken back even to Homer's The Odyssey, which is probably like the first travel
movie
picture book. Yeah, whatever. But it goes back to The Odyssey, Cervantes with Don Quixote. That's a travel story. Biblical prophets traveled. Like there's the wandering hero is a common theme in store.
Okay.
Absolutely.
What about the Bible?
Don
Don't they,
Quixote is the goddamn
The
travel
wandering,
movie.
you
Yes.
take the whole thing as a whole.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Okay. The protagonists leave the comfort of home, right? The comfort, the normalcy of home. And they end up not only in a new physical location, but a new mental and emotional location as well. And that's the point of the hero's journey. The protagonist goes out from his safe zone and he meets new characters and new experiences and new trials and tribulations. And this eventually leads him to an end result of being not just a different person in a different place, but just a different person in a different mind. Right? Does that make sense?
No.
It also harkens into the counterculture. So the rise of the counterculture and the rise of the travel film, the road trip movie, correlate because it's about doing something different from the norm. Right?
Yeah.
You're going against the grain. You're doing something new. You're doing something bold and daring and different. And there are a lot of comparisons to Westerns. As the Westerns died out in the 50s and 60s, the road trip movie took precedence. Right? And it's because as society became more civilized, more cities, more roads, more sophistication across from border to border in the U.S., roads became the new frontier. People, still today, we get that excitement of going on a journey. I love road trips. I love stopping at gas stations to get new drinks and new snacks we've never seen.
Or a Mountain Dew that you know they don't have here.
Exit 7, 14.
14.
Exit 14. My bad. That's why I always miss it. But nowadays it doesn't matter because they're all over the place. But going to a different place, the journey to get there, it's amazing. It's something crazy. It's about breaking the themes of tradition and normality and embracing change, escapism, but ultimately freedom. I think the travel movie is mostly about freedom. And when you break away from your mundane everyday life and you go on this elaborate journey and you come across a spiritual and physical awakening, that's about freedom. So I want to know what you guys, like Justin, the travel picture, what's the philosophy behind it? What does it mean about the human experience? What does it mean to you?
Well, adding on to what you said about the travel movies or the road trip movies taking over for the westerns in the 50s, you thank Dwight Eisenhower for that too, with the interstate system.
Absolutely.
Because, I mean, that was really, it literally connected the entire country. And
And another comparison to the western and the road trip movies, the westerns, one of the themes in a western movie is these great panoramic landscape shots.
Yeah.
That's something that carries over into the road pictures and the travel movies, specifically because of the Eisenhower interstate system is across so much open land like that,
exactly.
especially.
Yeah. And it's, to me, a travel movie, it's the best way to illustrate how, like, a lot of people don't like new things and don't like new people, and they always try to find things to hate about somebody. And like most of the travel movies that you think of traditionally, there's somebody that's in the car that, you know, I hate that guy. I can't believe I got to be on this trip with him the whole time. Like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
I feel that way
Just
when
an
we're in the
example.
vehicle together, Goldsmith.
I'm glad you mentioned that because the name of the episode is Planes,
Yeah,
Trains.
exactly.
We haven't talked about it yet.
So we'll use that as an example. You know, they're stuck together and they're trying to get to Chicago. And Steve Martin just all these little things about John Candy.
He's annoying.
hates.
He's loud. His mustache.
Yeah. and it's you spend enough time with somebody, even if you hate them, you'll find a way to love them because you know we're all people.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing, just traveling. Even if it's not with somebody, you go see other cultures and other places. And
Oh, yeah. How many movies and TV show episodes are based on that, where you take two characters that would not normally get along, but you put them on the road together, and they find a way to get along because they share an experience together.
Yeah, exactly.
And they realize that the experience on the road is the experience we all have in life.
Exactamundo.
What about you, Mike?
I was going to say Due Date, the Robert Downey Jr.
Great movie.
It's got that hard hitting, especially it's like, I hate this guy, I hate this guy, I hate this guy. And it's just like, finally I'm with my best friend, and it's just like, the guy that I hate is really my best friend.
Hot take, Due Date, better than The Hangover.
Yes.
Straight up.
It does feel like a remake, though, of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yeah, it does.
But I think it's inspired by that. And I
But
think
it's also
that's-
got that great
yeah.
scene where he does weed for the first time, and I'm like, what weed is he smoking? What is that laced with?
I thought you were going to say
Because-
the great scene is when he drinks his dad. Or Spoiler alerts.
Weird coffee. Oh, and he takes another drink.
You know, but here's another thing. Think about people you know in your life that love to go travel, right? That love to just, even if they've never been to places like Israel and Australia and Amsterdam.
Interesting. That's the first place you go to.
Well, you know, I grew up Judeo-Christian, but and Amsterdam was in there too. But like, you know, no matter where you go or what you do, no matter what you want to do, people that like to go and travel and have new experiences are different than people that like to stay home and never travel.
Yeah.
Right? And it's almost like the travel picture is a way of explaining the difference. Like, you can stay at home and you can be stagnant. You can live the same life every fucking day, every day of your life, and be miserable. Even.
Why are you looking at me, Robbie?
Because you're my friend. Or you can go out, you can explore, you can have new experiences.
It's it's a personal like this kind of reaches to me like what you're saying, personal.
You're a travel guy.
With the project that I'm working on right now is me venturing across Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee. I'm going to get into Georgia, and it's towns I've never been to before. Meeting people, it's like, okay, I'm hungry. What are my options? And it's this mom and pop diner over here, this mom and pop diner over here.
Yeah. What are the best bars in this small ass town?
I'm gonna get weird looks. I'm gonna get some questions.
Sometimes they're in somebody's garage.
And yeah, I mean, it's just it's fun because it's like I'm off. But the whole point is to get off the highway and to get off the. I'm not on 65. I'm going down 31 and 431, 231, 69. All these little small 2-lane roads, and it's been fun. And you know, it's like, oh shit, I could have died on that road.
Do you have a GoFundMe for your project?
No. I have a job, and it's paying for my gas.
What about you, John?
I would say, I forget what the question was. Why are we drawn to travel movies, right? That's
Or
the
just
question.
the philosophy of it. What do they mean?
Yeah.
What do
Well, I
they
think-
speak about the human experience?
I think people like adventure, or they want adventure. Maybe they, not personally, like they won't go out and like, well, I'm not going to do that. But I think, especially with the automobile or the train or the plane, which are all things you and I could go take the Mustang tomorrow and go somewhere. These seemed relatable, and that's the thing. People want adventure, but relatable adventures. Maybe you can't relate to as much as Star Wars because you don't have a spaceship. Do you? Do any of you guys have a spaceship?
I'm working on it.
Not to your knowledge.
But that concept that you can drive across the country or fly somewhere seems tangible. And again, everybody seeks adventure or wants adventure in their life. And if they can't get it because they have a regular job, then they'll seek it through movies or comic books, TV shows. So I think, again,
Escapism.
it's escapism, but it's also realistic escapism. And I've gone on road trips and had some zany things happen. I'm sure you have.
Yeah. And
So-
we all feel like one of our road trips, at least one of our road trips in our lives, could make a great movie. Like I have one, for instance, and me and my homies, we went on a spring break, and my buddy George had tickets to go to Six Flags, the free tickets.
Oh yeah, how was Six Flags?
So randomly, it was spring break, and me and my buddy George and Abe decided to go, and we had one of them typical road trip movie experiences where we all hated each other. We started off together, broke apart, and ended the whole thing back together. But we got there, and we had a very National Lampoon experience, and Six Flags was closed because, believe it or not...
You did that? You drove to Six Flags and it was closed?
Yeah, because believe it or not, Georgia has a different spring break than Alabama does.
Yeah. No, they're closed. Yeah.
Yeah.
We did that too.
That happened to us.
And 3 buddies went down there. Dashing Drew Madsen.
Yes.
You're all
last year,
just so
like 2
you
years ago.
you guys are all dumb.
No, this was like right after we met Drew. We drove down.
The internet wasn't around so
Who would
much back
do-
then.
Who would do the soundtrack to your movie?
Me. And I would,
No. Who would do the soundtrack? There's got to be music that you would most associate with that trip.
It would be Vanilla Ice and Lit.
Vanilla.
Because it was
Goddamn
because
Vanilla Ice album.
my buddy George, when Vanilla Ice went hardcore and Ross Robinson produced that album for him, right?
When he went hardcore and started
Yeah, he
robbing
did, like-
houses.
He did that album Hard to Swallow or whatever. George was trying to find that album
that trip, was
the
obsessed
entire
with
time.
that
So
fucking
every
album.
no matter where we were, no matter how late we were, and like we were in like a road stop. Like there was this accident, like an 18-wheeler turned over and spilled shit onto the road, and we were stopped there for like 3 hours. And we're out there with the rest of the people having picnics and throwing baseball around, like it's one of those kind of trips. And every town that we came across, George was like, "Can you stop at the music store? I want to see if they got this Vanilla Ice CD." We're like, "George, nobody has this Vanilla Ice CD."
What year was
Nobody
this, by the way?
gives
I
two
didn't hear it.
fucks.
It was like 1999 or something like that, right? It was senior year of high school for me, so it was early 99. And so that was Vanilla Ice, and at the end of it, like we were all completely done. Me, George, and Abe all just completely hated each other by the end of this
wanted to go home.
trip. And as we pulled in to our final location, the apartment complex that me and George lived at, Lit, Miserable came on. You know, the one that's like, "You make me completely miserable." And I'm like, how appropriate. But the road trip is something that we all partake of, and it symbolizes the ongoing journey of humanity to go out, to seek new worlds and new experiences, and boldly go, and all that jazz. It's seriously, it's the mission statement of Star Trek is the purpose of life. That's the purpose of a travel movie.
Yeah.
That's the philosophy of it right there. We'll be right back with our top 5 favorite travel movies, but first we're going to hear from you, the listeners, right here on Pop Culture Philosophers. Hey guys, Rockin' Robbie here. I want to talk to you real quick about the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo coming up here in Huntsville, Alabama, February 24th and 25th, 2018. It's going to be a real fun time. Us, the Pop Culture Philosophers, will be there, so come on, meet us, greet us. We'll talk to you. We'll shake your hands. We'll do all that stuff. Also, famed comic book artist Mark Bagley will be there. Jermaine Funny Mane Johnson, comedian, will be there. Comic book artist and inker Joe Rubenstein will be there. Kevin Sorbo from Hercules, The Legendary Journeys will be there. Austin St. John and Johnny Young Bosch from Power Rangers will be there, as well as comic book artist John Beatty and Mike Zeck of Punisher fame, and Fabian Nicieza, comic book writer and co-creator of the character Deadpool. So lots of excitement, great lineup. It's going to be a blast, a grand time at the VBC North Hall, February 24th and 25th, 2018 in Huntsville, Alabama, the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo.
Welcome back to Pop Culture Philosophers. We're talking about planes, trains, and automobiles. I think we're about to get to social media, but I want to let everybody know about the next episode. After this, we're going to be doing a Nintendo episode, talking about all things Nintendo, the history of Nintendo. Really excited about that. Mostly some old school stuff for you guys that like old school games. I know we're not a gaming podcast, but I'm excited about the history of Nintendo. And I think, Robbie, you have some social media for us, don't you? Didn't you ask the people on the Facebook and the Twitter and whatnot what their favorite travel movies were?
Yes, I asked everybody here on social media what your favorite travel movie / road trip movie is. Matt Gibson from Pixel Perfect said Dutch.
Oh, dude.
Dutch. My sister Debbie Haygood said Vacation because it reminds me of our family, which I can concur. She also said Tommy Boy. My other sister, Cindy Lamb, I have more than 2 sisters. Sammy didn't comment. Anyway, Cindy said Fundamentals of Caring, which is a movie with Paul Rudd, John, that you should check out. Jen Francis said Fievel Goes West. Adam Lander said Nebraska. Carl Kowalski said Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
I don't know if that counts as a travel movie, but okay.
I don't know either. Carl said it.
Great
It'll be
movie
fun.
nonetheless.
Jason Frazier said Almost Famous. Chris Wallace said Easy Rider, Midnight Run, and Paper Moon, which is my absolute favorite. And I'm done telling Robbie to watch Paper Moon. He's been telling me this for years.
Paper Moon is a classic.
Been telling me that for years.
Oh my God.
Bo Wolf said Roadside Prophets. Christina Devis said Wild. Thaddeus House Tony said Get on the Bus, Spike Lee movie. Great film about some dudes going to the Million Man March over there in Washington back in the day. Alan Foster said Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Classic film.
Yes. Chris Polk said Dogma and Zombieland, and I slapped myself in the face right now to be like, Dogma. I didn't think of Dogma. Andrew Bassan said Van War. Zach Gallagher says Little Miss Sunshine. Josh Spencer, homie, I knew you would say this. Dumb and Dumber. Love that movie. Courtney Cashin said Duel. Great movie. Ridley Scott's first film, actually. What's his name? Steven Spielberg, actually. Christina Rogers said Bad Grandpa. James Donahoe said Vacation. I know it's cliche, but that's what it is. Lindsay Burge says Pee-wee's Big Adventure. And Dylan Sullivan. Let's talk about Dylan real quick. Dylan said that his favorite travel movie of all time is European Vacation.
Actually, European Vacation is
really good.
I don't enjoy it as much as Summer Vacation, but I do like European Vacation. It
don't-
starts off with them they're at the game show, whatever, and they win the trip.
Okay.
Remember that?
Okay.
I like
He was
European
really
Vacation.
worried that we were going to bust out on him because I was like, European Vacation. To me, European
He was-
Vacation is like,
Robbie was just hounding him.
Oh, I like
about-
I do
European
not like
Vacation.
European Vacation.
Oh, they got that little car.
like almost to the point
Yeah.
of bullying.
Oh.
you know.
Oh, whatever. Mike.
I like European Vacation.
Mike was such a bully in high
I
school.
personally
No,
wouldn't
it
put it
wasn't.
above summer or Christmas, Christmas isn't traveling, but I really do like European Vacation.
I just want to point out that Dylan said his favorite travel movie is European Vacation, which means that he likes that one better than Vacation.
maybe he got confused with Euro Trip, which is a different movie altogether. Which is a
Anyway.
sequel to Road
Look,
Trip.
man,
That's
it's his
just-
opinion and it's what he likes.
That's
and
right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And that's
No, your
right.
opinion is fucking wrong. No,
Oh, my
I like
God.
Euro Trip. I agree with him. It's a great movie.
It is
European
really good.
Vacation, not Road Trip.
I mean, no, I was confused.
Okay.
No, National Lampoon's European Vacation is awesome.
All right, Dylan, you got some support from some of the PCPers. So anyway,
Yeah.
thank you guys for checking us
Everybody
out.
support but Robbie.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that jazz. Support us.
Yeah. Or
Check us
online
out.
at popculturephilosophers.com.
And of course, patreon.com/PCP for exclusive content.
After hours.
And the exclusive content involves Robbie's new list, and his number one will be European Vacation.
But actually, if you're not aware, we do it this whole podcast. We're going to do one here as soon as we wrap up this. It's called After Hours.
Yeah.
And then we just let the mics run for like 15, 20 minutes.
It might be all football.
And it's whatever it is. Tonight might be football, but that is exclusive to our Patreon supporters. You can unlock that at just $1 a month.
And also for our platinum members at $5 a month, you get access to the very tastefully drawn nude pictures of Robbie that John does during the week.
Don't make promises we can't keep.
I mean,
For $5, you get your name and the credits of all of our YouTube videos. Don't overpromise.
and the nude pictures.
That's
Don't
money.
overreach.
And that's just $5
I think
a
it's
month.
something that we could do.
Robbie.
I will start drawing new
that's just
pictures of him
$5 a
right
month.
now.
I will draw new pictures of John for anybody for $5 a month. Anyway, John, let's move on.
That's a steal.
Got facial
That's a good
hair.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's drawing pictures.
Got a hat.
Nobody can see that, John. It doesn't matter.
Is that
Got a hat.
a year?
Patreons will see
He's got
it.
some facial.
Why do you?
I don't know
Why?
why your face is so fat.
Why is my chin so?
Looks like some kind of
That's
kettle.
before I went to the hospital, dude.
I will revise this. Yeah, let's get to our top five. So yeah, anywhere on Patreon, check that out. But let's get to our top five. So these are our top five travel movies. We talked about automobiles, planes, trains. We're actually going to talk about travel movies specifically. So they're our top five. And we left the rules a little loose. So if you want to holler about it, do so on the website. Comment below. Our top five travel movies. I'm actually going to start with Mikey. Top five. Starting with number 5, please. Give us your top 5 travel movies. Or in your mind is a travel movie. It doesn't have to maybe fix the constraints that we all probably have for a
So
travel movie.
real quick, this is where I keep saying I messed everything up. I went with the road movie definition, and the road movie is a genre in which the main character travels either in transportation, flight, car, whatever, or a journey of self-discovery. That's the road movie.
But aren't most movies self-discovery?
No, not really.
I think we covered all this already, Mike.
right,
What's your top five?
but it's what they call a road movie, not a travel
Okay.
movie.
Okay.
So my
I think you probably fit in our what we're saying anyway. I think. But go
Right.
ahead.
Well, we'll see. My number 5 is Easy Rider.
Great film.
So counterculture guys just go on a trip from Los Angeles to New Orleans to discover America and get out there and see the world. And Jack Nicholson's character is the sheltered guy that just goes out and has fun and experiences life, and and then it's a sad ending. So
And it makes you want to buy a classic bike.
yes, it does.
It does. It was you could watch that movie and
Well,
not
it makes
go
you
on
wanna buy
Craigslist
pieces.
and look at a bike.
Makes you want to buy pieces. I mean, Captain America's an amazing bike. My number 4 now. Number 4 is It's a Mad, 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 Mad World.
Which you talked about earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the whole entire. It's the people they witness a wreck. The guy tells the secret about all the money, and then it's a race.
Yeah. To who can get the money?
To who can get to the big W, and it's about if they just had worked together as a team, and everything, and greed is the root of all evil in the movie because they lose the money in the end.
Yeah, because they're selfish.
Right, because it's just it's really funny, and all the people that they keep bringing in and destroying their lives. It's like 6 people end up destroying 20 lives. So
Which is quite an accomplishment. I give him props.
number 3, it's a road movie without a vehicle. They're actually walking.
What?
They're walking.
Okay.
It's The Road.
Oh yeah, it is a travel movie. It is a great movie.
So very dark, depressing.
Yeah, it's,
I didn't want to leave my house after a few days of watching it. So
From a book by
is
Cormac
it?
McCarthy.
Yeah.
yes,
Is it Viggo Mortensen? Who's the main character? Because I can remember who
Viggo
plays
Mortensen.
His
the.
name
It
is
is.
his name is Aragon.
Okay. I just couldn't remember the actor. I thought it was Viggo. Okay. It kind of reminds me of what's
But
the
not
game?
the Vigo from
Last of Us.
Ghostbusters 2.
Anybody played Last of Us?
yes, it's very
Last of Us
Us
is
inspired.
vice versa,
Yeah.
or same genre. What's your number 2?
My number 2, again, not sure. Takes place on a boat. It's Apocalypse Now. The guy makes the journey up the river. He makes a journey up the river of self-discovery because he's changed at the end. All of what he experiences and his view of the world changes, and it's all narrated by him. Like I said, if we go by this definition, Apocalypse Now.
And it's a great film.
It's on a boat.
Wait a minute. So Apocalypse Now is one of those iconic films, and it's your number fucking 2? I'm excited to hear what your number 1 is.
It's another one that
Apocalypse Now Part 2. The sequel.
2.
it's the
Electric
read it-
Boogaloo.
read it. No, it's about finding the American dream and the American spirit and what makes America, and it's Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. It's a road trip to look. Hunter S. Thompson is going. He goes from Los Angeles to Las Vegas, and then in the book he goes elsewhere. He even leaves in the movie, and then comes back, and it's just his whole. The last 15 minutes of the movie when he's sitting and they're replaying the tape and listening to where they are and where they've gone and what happened and how destructive that they've been and it's a recount of everything, that there's more to life than what it is. It's a personal journey that he goes on. It's just drug fueled, and he's on the road.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe bending the rules for road trip because most of it's about. But it's Hunter S. Thompson.
But I said road movie, not
and
road trip.
It's also Hunter S. Thompson. So how the fuck can you not
it's
like
travel,
Hunter S. Thompson?
travel, road trip, road movie? It's all. It wasn't very clear, so I went with road movie.
I didn't know you were a big Hunter S. Thompson fan.
Love Hunter S. Thompson.
Who doesn't like Hunter S. Thompson? Raise your hand, and I will escort you out
Was
of the studio.
he was the editor for, was it Vanity Fair or Esquire or something like that?
No, he worked for Rolling Stone and Sports Illustrated, and
It may have been Rolling Stone. I was
just-
thinking
The
of.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas thing was wasn't it a gig from Rolling Stone?
yeah, he had
Yeah.
to go. He went to go cover this race, and then pretty much said screw it, and then just went on a bender, and then got lost, and then rediscovered.
I'll allow it because I got a Rolling Stone influenced movie on my top 5.
Well, it's almost the same, except it's not drug filled.
Spoilerito.
I didn't say what it was.
It's actually Give Me
oh,
Shelter.
Robbie.
It's Give Me Shelter.
Great list, but I like that list. I approve that. Those movies are great.
It's a great list.
It's a great. There's some great films on the list, so I can't argue with you because you have some great films. If you put some shit films on there that didn't fall into those constraints, then I would still get mad. But I mean, yeah, I love Henry Rouse Thompson.
If he was
Who
like
doesn't?
Elmo and Grouchland, I guess it's the travel picture, but
I mean, I could have put the Goofy movie, but you know what? I didn't.
you coulda.
Would that be your number 6 if there was a top 6
Hell
Goofy
no.
movie? That soundtrack, though, boy. That
I, don't,
soundtrack.
I never saw the movie or the soundtrack, so
You never saw the soundtrack?
or listened to it. No, yeah, I've never seen it physically, so I guess I've never seen it.
I enjoyed your list. I hope the listeners did. I'm going to jump over to Goldsmith. Give us your
They'll
top
agree with
5 travel movies.
I didn't put this on my list for the same reason everybody else was talking about it, but if Mike's doing Fear and Loathing, then I'm going to mention Swingers.
Great film.
That's
May not fall in that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
It kind of
exactly.
pushes that, but yeah, it's a great film.
I don't think that's.
I don't think Swingers.
I don't think that's
is
a travel
not-
picture whatsoever.
Yeah, they're
They
all in
drive
that
to Las
city.
Vegas. They leave
From like
LA to
the
Las
suburbs.
Vegas.
Okay. From LA.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay,
Well, it's not on my
whatever.
list anyway.
Whoa, hold on. Time out.
You don't
Okay.
get the timeout. You're not
I'm
Zach
gonna-
Morris.
Yeah. All right. No, because they go to
He
Vegas.
does have that phone.
They go to Vegas. They come back. He's still all disappointed, and the whole entire time, for the rest of the movie, it's them going to the party.
Yeah.
And then they meet the guys they get into a fight with. So just because it's still a travel movie, even though you've gone from one point of town to the other, because Los Angeles is pretty big.
I know, but
Well, that was
only-
just an honorable mention.
Yeah, it was on.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay.
I'll allow it.
I don't allow it.
Mike allows it.
I also really
I'm
wanted
right,
to make
you
a
were
case
wrong.
for Interstellar, because that's definitely a travel movie.
Yeah, I absolutely think so.
Not on my list though. My list.
Yeah, what is on your?
There's
goddamn
more.
list?
There's more turbulence here because I got a tie for number 5. It's Tommy Boy and Dumb and Dumber.
Okay.
You can't have fucking ties.
It was a tie.
I don't care.
I allow
I went
ties.
over. I made the box.
Which ones of those two movies?
And-
Let's say there wasn't a tie. What of those two movies were your favorite?
Probably Dumb and Dumber.
Okay, so Dumb and Dumber.
But
is
I
your-
thought about this
number
for
5.
a couple days. I couldn't.
But I fixed it
couldn't
for you.
choose between the two.
both
whatever.
funny movies though.
Hilarious.
Yeah,
Tommy Boy's got a little more heart than Dumb and Dumber is.
I agree.
does so.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt there.
Yeah.
Meaning the band.
Yeah.
Art, yeah. They did the entire soundtrack. People don't remember that.
But Dumb and Dumber's like a really. They both.
It's still funny today. They both hold
Yeah.
up well, but you're right. Tommy Boy does hit you, with his dad passing
His dad dies
and then everything. Yeah,
And he
yeah.
kind of learns how to feel his dad's shoes and save the company and everything.
And I think
It's
that's
great.
also his first starring role. Is it not his first? Yeah, he made small appearances like in
remember.
Wayne's World 2 and
Was-
stuff, but that's his first.
Was Black Sheep before?
No,
Tommy
definitely
Boy
not.
was
Tommy
first.
Boy was his
Okay.
first starring role.
Yeah.
From once he left SNL, or I think maybe he was still on SNL. at the
Though
time,
Black
regardless.
Sheep does have Dreamy
Yeah.
Rob Lowe.
Also a road trip movie.
Yes.
It is.
Black Sheep. I thought about putting that on there.
What is your number 4?
My number 4 stars Kurt Russell and Martin Short, and it's called Captain Ron.
Nice.
Takes place on a boat. I can't remember if Martin Short inherits this big houseboat from his uncle or something like that, granddad, and he convinces his family to sail for like a couple months over the summer, and
That's what
nobody's
that AWOL Nation song was about.
yeah. His whole family is not happy
Run.
about it, but they do it anyway, and they hire Captain Ron, played by Kurt Russell, with an eye patch.
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
Is that the
Funny.
one where he says gorillas and he's like, "Oh, I thought you meant gorillas."
Yeah.
They meant like gorillas.
It's a
Yeah, not
Pirates
the
of the
animals, gorillas. Yeah.
They're actually
it's
talking
the
about
Pirates of
the
the-
guerrilla warfare.
Yeah.
I thought it was the Pirates of the Caribbean joke.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Funny movie. Classic.
Yeah. My number 3 is Vacation.
A European.
National
not
Lampoon's
European.
Vacation.
Summer
I debated.
Vacation, which is the
This-
summer one. The first National Lampoon Vacation movie.
This slot was going to be filled by one of the two, and I decided Vacation over European Vacation because in my little box of requirements for this list that I always make, Vacation, they had a specific place they were going to,
Wally World.
Wally
Yeah.
World, and European Vacation was just kind of a tour around Europe, which still travel, but this fit the bill better. So
Yeah.
Vacation.
Yeah, and I think I actually
Plus,
like,
it's just a better movie.
I think it is
Because
a better
European
movie.
Vacation is
I-
trash.
It's not trash, but
It's not as
Vacation
good-
is a better
It's
movie.
not as good as the original Vacation or is Christmas Vacation.
Or
Even though
Vegas.
Christmas not a okay. Fucking European.
They're all really
The
good.
European one I think is better than Vegas at least.
No.
I would say is better
Yes.
than Vegas.
That's we'll talk about this in the
Yes.
after hours. Subscribe to the
Yeah.
Patreon if you want to hear about it.
Good plug.
What's your number? Are we on 3?
That was 3.
Oh, what's your number 2?
My number 2, I guarantee nobody else in this room has it on their list. My number 2
Is
favorite
it goddamn
travel
Star
film
Trek movie?
is the unrated version of Sex Drive.
Oh, dude, that is fucking hilarious.
It is so funny.
It
Never
is-
seen it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
No way that fucking Plop is the main, like the sexy guy though. He gets all the ladies,
He's so funny. I can't remember that guy's name.
but he plays Plop. That's his nickname in when he's in the office. But he was on Sex Drive.
well, what
But Sex Drive is fucking hilarious.
what the movie is about for those that have not seen it. This kid, this like nerdy kid, he's in high school.
Yeah.
He's not very good with the ladies, and he's been talking to this girl online who's very hot, and she's like, "You should come and visit me." And he's been telling her like how he's a bodybuilder and all kinds of shit, and he's got this cool ass car, and the car is actually his brother's. And
Played by the guy that what's his name?
oh
Scott
shit,
Summers.
Cyclops.
Cyclops. The best scene in that movie is when Cyclops comes home.
I
What
think
the
his
fuck
name
is
is James.
Yeah, James Marsden.
James Marsden,
Yes.
yeah.
He comes home, realizes his car is missing, and then beats the shit out of the garage
He
door.
breaks the
He
yeah.
breaks the garage door.
Oh, but okay, so he's talking to this girl online, and she's really hot in the pictures and whatever. And he's like, his friend convinces him that they should go meet. He should go drive to. I think they live in like near Chicago or somewhere. And he's like, we should drive down to Nashville and meet her because that's where she lives. So they end up stealing his brother's car because he told her that was his car.
Yeah,
and they
that's
drive.
part of the illusion, the lie.
Yeah, and so they drive down to Nashville to meet this hot girl, and the entire road trip is so funny. And the reason I said the unrated version specifically is because they left a bunch of bloopers in the movie. So like they'll be doing a scene, like there's this one scene where when his friend is trying to convince him to go on the trip, like he gets up close to him and he puts his hands on his shoulders. He's like, dude, you've got to go and get this, and he starts laughing, and then like the camera pans over, and you see like one of the producers kneeling down next to it. It's like the unrated version of that movie is one of
We'll
the
take
best
your word.
unrated versions.
Yeah,
Or-
that sounds
It is-
amazing.
it is so funny.
It
I
is a
swear
funny
to God.
movie, and doesn't it break down? Isn't it Seth Green, who's the Amish
Yeah,
guy
Seth Green
that helps
plays the
him
Amish
out?
guy.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know anything, and he goes like details about the engine. It is hilarious. It is funny. What's your
Yeah.
number 1?
My number one favorite travel movie of all time, in this box of restrictions I put on myself for this list, is Due Date, starring Robert Downey Jr.
You have
and
a
Zach
thing for Robert
Galifianakis.
Downey Jr. though, so
I
that
do.
feels like you're almost cheating.
It's a great movie.
But it's a great movie too.
I think it's okay. I think you guys oversell it.
What are you, a girl or something?
I think it is funny. I enjoyed it, but great. Number
It's
1?
my favorite.
If
I'm
it
not
was
saying it's the best
say
travel
it wasn't
movie of all
Robert
time.
Downey Jr. and say it was Dolph Lundgren in the same role. Would you enjoy it as much?
I don't know. Let's
Probably
let's
even
try
more.
To, try to put that together. Anybody listening with some money want to see it
Yeah,
happen?
Due Date 2. Dolph Lundgren. Who should be the zany guy? Let's
Zach
do
Galifianakis.
Let's do somebody
Should've
else.
said
Let's do
same
somebody
guy.
else.
How about Chris
Farley?
Farley's brother?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. What is his name?
Peter Farley?
I don't remember.
Something.
Kevin.
Kevin Farley. It is Kevin Farley.
He's
From-
coming in.
He's coming to set
Yeah.
it.
Isn't he
stand-up
from
live.
Together?
He is. We're
We're-
all gonna hang together, you and me.
Anyway,
forever.
But that movie is the definition. Like I recently watched Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and I wanted to put that on my list, but because it's a really good movie. Don't get me
is.
wrong, but I think Due Date is
can-
almost the same movie.
you can tell that Due Date's inspired by that film.
Yeah,
though,
no, most
correct?
definitely. Like
Yeah.
it's literally almost exactly the same movie.
So those people that don't know and can't see Goldsmith, he was inspired to get a perm because of that movie. And now Goldsmith has a perm. He's got the most beautiful curls you've ever seen, but he was inspired by Zach Galifianakis in that film.
But both those movies, Plane, Trains, and Automobiles, and Due Date, both epitomize the goofball and the straight man.
Traveling somebody,
Yeah.
a zany character and a very straight who wants to just get home and then being stuck together. It's
Yeah.
almost like
Chris Farley and David
what's the
Spade.
show with the two
Yeah,
roommates?
same thing with them.
What's the old show? And they redid Odd Couple, but
Yeah.
on a in a car
Yeah,
kind
exactly.
of thing. Yeah, and there's a new Odd Couple, and I forget who's in it.
It's been canceled.
Yeah.
Oh, it got canceled. What's the two people in it? It was
You were so sad. You're like, oh, it's been. You don't even know who's in it.
It's
I like
It's
the one
guy from Reno
was-
911
Yeah, that guy's
and
hilarious.
Matthew Perry.
I don't give a two shits about Matthew Perry, but the other guy is hilarious.
But yeah, that's my top 5.
Unless Matthew Perry listens to the show, in which case we'd love to have you in the show, Matthew. We'd love your
Subscribe
work.
to our Patreon. But yeah, that's my top 5.
That's a good top
be on our
5. I'm surprised that somebody had Sex Drive because it is painfully
It's
funny.
really,
It is like-
really funny.
Yeah, fall on the ground funny. Robbie, your top 5 travel movies.
Honorable mention.
God damn it! Everybody with the honorable mention.
Star Wars.
I didn't have one. I did not have an honorable mention.
Mike is a good guy.
Honorable mention. Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, okay.
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 Number 5
Not all fanfare.
from 1996, written and directed by Greg Matala. Right, the guy that he was like a writer or a director on Superbad or whatever. Anyway, it's called Day Trippers. Love this movie. It's got Hope Davis, Stanley Tucci, Liev Schreiber, Parker Posey, bunch of others.
That's
It's
a great cast. I've never seen.
It's a
this
great
film.
cast, great movie. I have it on DVDs. I don't even know if
DVD?
it's available on Blu-ray. But it's basically this woman played by Hope Davis believes her husband, played by Stanley Tucci, is cheating on her. So her and her family go on this road trip together to New York City to catch him in the act. And spoilers, he's cheating on her. But there's another twist to it. And it's really good, really funny. Plus, it's got a great cast. Absolutely love it. Number 4, 2007, Wes Anderson, Darjeeling Limited.
Great film.
Love that movie.
Great film.
One of my favorite train movies. I didn't mention it earlier because I didn't want to spoil my top 5. Love that movie. Jason Schwartzman, Adrian Brody, and Owen Wilson.
I'm happy they're brothers in that. Because
Yeah, they're
they
playing
do have
brothers.
that nose, and so they look like they could be
They
brothers.
don't look alike at all. None of the three
well,
of them. But
they don't look alike, but they both have very prominent nose.
I love that movie. It's so surreal, so odd. I love you, man. That's why I have to punch you in the face.
I thought you were
Stop
just
including me.
I love it so
Stop
much.
including
Stop
me.
including me. I'll mace you in the face. That's why I knew you had loved that movie more. So that's why I left
It is a
to
great
you.
fucking film, though.
And a great use of the Rolling Stones song.
Wes
Play
Anderson
with fire.
has a great taste in music, so he's always got a
Absolutely.
great soundtrack.
Number 3, speaking of music, is Almost Famous, the 2000 film written and directed by Cameron Crowe. I love that movie so much. It's the Rolling Stone one I was talking about earlier. It's a road trip movie. It's a travel picture. This dude is traveling with this band, and the ultimate journey and the end result is to get the story.
Favorite
And
song off that was Tangerine.
Love it. Oh, there's so much. Fever down. Like the songs they wrote. Speaking of heart being in
Yeah,
movies.
but I was gonna say the scene where they actually used Tangerine.
Yes.
Led
Well,
Zeppelin is-
and don't forget the Tiny Dancer scene, which is obviously
Oh
super
my
famous
gosh,
now, but it's
yeah.
such a great scene. It's such a great pivotal moment in that movie. But Fever Dog is amazing.
There's a damn it, Dave Grohl. We'll just cut this all off.
Ed O'Neill, you talking about Dutch?
Dave Grohl on one of the night shows, I forget what show it was, decided to recreate that scene.
Yeah.
The Tiny Dancers. That whole
In the bus.
yeah, in the bus. Love
It's
Dave
great.
Grohl.
Fever Dog's a great song though. So real quick, I'm gonna go Fever Dog.
I am a golden god.
Scratching at my back door. Number 2, Jason Reitman, 2009, Up in the Air. Love this film so much, starring George Clooney. I love it so much. It's not necessarily your traditional travel movie. It's not a dude getting on a plane and going from point A to point B. It's about a dude who lives his life on planes
Yeah.
and up in the air. And he realizes that there's more to life than just that. And it's just a great movie. I don't want to spoil anything, but it hits you hard. It's emotional. It's a great film. I love it. My number 1
Quick
travel
side note,
picture.
Quick
Whoa.
side note. Sidebar. We were going through all this today and talking about it, and just finishing up fine detail and everything, and I was like up in the air, and Robbie was just like, "Oh my god, I forgot about that movie." It was.
I still haven't seen it.
Here it is,
and
number 2.
Robbie said it's on Blue, so I'm going to borrow it from him.
It's good. It's really, really good.
Number 1, 2000, Coen Brothers. Oh, brother, where art thou? The original travel story
yes.
is the Odyssey. Oh,
which
brother,
is
where
the
art
remake
thou
of the
is
Odyssey.
amazing.
Good. That's a really good.
Yeah, that's
pick,
my
man.
favorite one. I love that movie so much. It's been on plenty of podcasts. I've talked about it. George Clooney.
My number 5.
the dude that played the leader from the Incredible Hulk movie. It's so amazing. I love that movie. It's funny, but the fact that it's the Odyssey, and the fact that I did not realize that until the second time I saw that movie, and someone told me, I love that movie so much. It is truly about the journey. This dude's trying, and the most perfect journey we all have, because we all leave our place of comfort and meander about the universe and go through all these crazy experiences. And where do we all eventually wind up? Home. This is about the journey to home, and I love it so much.
That's a great list. I love where brother
What?
See, when
that
Robbie,
one you mentioned.
when Robbie started talking about like how the Odyssey is the original story and given the history of philosophy, look at my number 5, my original number 5.
You had on your list.
I had-
Nobody
yeah.
can see this, but he's got
I-
it on his list. He also drew a bunch of penises on
Yes.
his.
I
his
threw
And a
paper.
slightly less tasteful nude image of Robbie than John normally draws.
I've never said I was an artist.
Yeah. Although
More-
he's great at drawing.
I'm a
testicles.
photographer.
He also says honorable mention the 10 Commandments, and I'm like, I guess that works.
No, that's not on here.
What?
Well, I did mention the Bible
I will
earlier.
put this
How
on
there's a bunch of
Instagram.
traveling, but
I
I
mentioned the biblical prophets as travelers. Talk about that.
speaking of travelers,
What are your top
I
5,
had
John?
no
No,
honorable mentions.
that is a great film. We should also mention the soundtrack. If you haven't seen this film, what a soundtrack too.
I am a man.
So my top 5. We'll get to my top 5. We'll make it a little bit quicker. I actually revised it during the show, and Will saw me cheat. But
It's true.
yeah, it's true. Number 5 is Dutch.
Because you heard the
Yes, because
Matt-
I completely
Because
forgot.
Matt- yeah.
But it's a great film. Ed O'Neill. It's actually Ethan Embry, but he's really young. He goes by Ethan Randall. This is before he became
Yeah, he's the guy from
He looks
Empire Records and
Can't Hardly Wait,
Can't Hardly Wait, Incident on and Off Mountain Road, yeah,
Vegas
good stuff.
Vacation.
Yes, Vegas Vacation.
He's in a
Because
bunch of
is there
stuff.
not a different kid in every single
Yes,
vacation movie?
Yes. So he's in a bunch of stuff. I really like him. He's a great actor, and I didn't realize that was him. You can go back and look at it. He just looks nothing like that. He was chubby. His hair was darker. He completely changed as he grew up. And again, he goes by a different fucking name in the credits. But love Dutch. Great movie. Number 4, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Oh.
It's like the perfect two people that don't get along. And it's obviously Steve Martin offering, to help him out. You know
Is
what I'm
that
saying?
also a Thanksgiving picture, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Specifically,
Thanksgiving.
it's them trying to get home for Thanksgiving, or he's trying to get home for Thanksgiving.
Oh, spoilers.
Yeah, but it's a great cast. It's got comedy. It's got it's the quintessential travel movie. There's movies I enjoy more than that. So
And
that's
the
why it's number
amazing
4.
John Candy.
Yeah, John Candy is so awesome.
I had this. I want to say it on the air so that everybody hears it. I had an idea after I watched that movie for the first time the other day. We should do a podcast about John Candy.
We could.
Called I Want Candy.
That might be misleading, but that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Can we also do the Rucker Hour Power Hour?
Yeah, we're going to do that one day.
My number 3 is gonna be National Lampoon's Vacation. The original summer vacation. Them going across the
When
country.
the cop pulls them over
With the
because
dog
of the
leash, yeah. Oh, he sees Christy Brinkley and he's trying to act cool. All that stuff. It's just such a funny movie and it's such a classic. And it kind of kicked off the vacation movies for National Lampoon, obviously, because that was the first. I mean, not the first National Lampoon, but love that. Number 2 is going to be, and this is sort of bending the rules a little bit, Back to the Future. I mean, he travels back in time, but
Bending all kinds of
he is
rules.
trying to get back home. So he's trying, the whole purpose of him is to get back to his time in the 80s. And of course, and Goldsmith knows about this, he almost slept with his own mom.
What?
Oh, God.
Off the rails officially.
But a great film, plus the DeLorean, man. The DeLorean. The damn DeLorean. And it's turned into a time machine. How badass. How badass is that? And what a great cast. Christopher Lloyd, Marty McFly.
That's my Michael J. Fox.
It might have been Michael J. Fox. And then I forget the other. There was Crispin Glover.
Leah
Plays
Thompson.
the mom. Leah Thompson. Biff.
Timothy Dalton.
Timothy Dalton. Yeah.
Oh, Flea.
Oh,
Flea.
That's Back to the Future too. But Flea isn't.
And
back-
Anthony Kiedis. No. I'm thinking of The Chase. My bad.
Anyway, classic film. But of course, my number 1, and we've already discussed this a little bit, The Darjeeling Limited. Great film, a big Wes Anderson film. I was less excited about this than I was his other films, and I saw it and it blew me away. I love the detail with the train. Like I said, it's a great cast. I do see these guys as brothers. You said that they don't look alike. maybe they don't like in the eyes and the ears and stuff, but they do
You
have
telling me that
their noses. Holy shit. Their
Owen
noses.
Wilson, okay, they may all three have
Big schnozzes.
different noses, but they don't have the same nose.
They're big schnozzes. But they're also great. They're also, with the exception of Adrian Brody, those two have worked a lot with Wes Anderson.
What's wrong with Jason Schwartzman's nose?
He's got a large dom. I'm just saying it's prominent. I like Jason Schwartzman. He's a great musician as well.
Better a big nose than a big package.
What? No. What?
Do you like
Are you telling us something about you, Robbie?
big package?
Robbie has a giant nose.
Pretty huge.
You know what they always say? Big noses, very confusing statement.
Okay, anyway, moving on.
Robbie's just confused in general.
Great film, though. I'm biased to Wes Anderson. I like his films a lot, but the soundtrack is phenomenal. Great cast. It is an emotional, it moves you. It's a great film, but just love that
And
train.
a great set.
Yeah.
The way he shot that film is amazing.
He's got an eye for films. He's done well for himself. And his new movie comes out this year. I'm excited. Isle of Dogs.
Great use of a Kink song also.
I love the Kinks. He's definitely expanded my love of music because of him. And there's a lot of bands he plays that I'm familiar with. Oh, he's playing a Beatles song. Oh, I know that song. He playing the Rolling Stones song. Oh, I know that song. But then he'll play something I don't know and I have to look it up. He got me into Nico.
Yep.
So, great. Love Wes Anderson. That's my number one. So, yep.
Great top fives.
I think everybody had a top five. What's your favorite? If you had to pick one, what's your favorite
Take my mic.
Yeah, I'll take your mic.
travel movie? Is there one we maybe missed out?
You did. There's actually a top 5 that I have that you did not mention at
Yeah,
all.
by the back
Number
of the
5,
head.
Home Alone 2.
Okay.
Number 4, Bushwhacked with Daniel Stern.
Oh, I
talked
forgot
about
about
this
that
earlier.
movie. I love.
These are all Daniel Stern movies, by the way.
Well, that's the first two.
City Slickers is up there.
What's the next one?
Number 3 is
City Slickers.
Euro Trip.
Oh, that's
Okay.
not Daniel Stern.
No, that's not Daniel Stern.
He wanted to be in that movie.
Cameo.
Euro Trip is actually really funny.
Euro Trip
People
is
forget about Euro Trip.
amazing.
I was like, oh, they're just cashing on Road Trip because it was successful. But Euro Trip is actually hilarious.
Funny
Yeah.
story. Number 2, Road Trip.
It's not.
And number 1, The Wizard with Fred Savage.
Oh shit, that is a travel movie.
That's just a commercial.
Remember that kid opens up the briefcase and it's the Power Glove?
The Power Glove.
It's so bad.
They paid.
Was
Nintendo,
that not how they debuted it almost?
Yeah, well, Mario 3 was debuted there. Yeah. And they paid Nintendo to use that, which is the opposite of now. People pay, you know what I'm saying? The merchandise, it's
Yeah.
different.
Pay for the product placement.
But they paid Nintendo. Yeah. Yeah, awesome. But that's a great
because
film.
they were like, Fred Savage is not enough alone to carry this movie.
Well, it was seriously the first time the world saw Super Mario Bros. 3, which is a big deal and was probably one of the best games ever made.
And we'll probably talk about it on our
On the
next
Nintendo episode. We may. We may.
Epic foreshadowing.
Epic foreshadowing, Will say.
Well, that was a great episode.
I think it was okay.
Aside from Will stealing my Soul Train thing.
Yeah. Which isn't really a train, just for the record.
Yeah.
It is.
You can make a train on
It's
Soul
a
Train.
pop culture train, and none of us thought of it.
I heard they're doing a new one, but it's also like a dark, called Soul Train. It's like a dark, evil show that steals souls. We'll just cut this off.
Okay. Thank you guys for listening here on Pop Culture Philosophers.
Bye.
Do they not have any music shows like that? Is there any shows like that anymore? Are they all gone? There was
Gone.
several of them. It wasn't just Soul Train. There was like 3 shows that were like that.
Yeah.
What happened
American
to those?
Bandstand.
Yeah.
Gone.
What happened to them?
MTV's The Grind.
Well,
Gone.
MTV doesn't play music anymore,
Well,
so that's why.
They
That's
got
the answer
music
to that.
videos now.
Yeah.
That's what YouTube's
They had
for.
music videos back then.
No,
Not to that. Not
no,
to
they
that
didn't.
amount.
No,
Maybe
I'm
not.
just gonna watch all my videos.
They had
on
live
YouTube.
performances.
Now we're just getting off. We're getting up. What we'll do is we'll wrap up the
After
show.
hours.
We will have an after hours if you guys want to tune in for that.
$1
We appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, popculturephilosophers.com. If you're on Android iTunes, you can check out more stuff on the website, including videos, comic reviews, stuff from Robbie himself. And if you're on the site, go ahead and check out our YouTube. Or just FYI, you can subscribe to the show and listen to the show. It shows it right up on your Android device or your iPhone or your... What else is out there? I think Windows Phone's dead. I'm sorry. We don't support... I apologize.
The Google Pixel 2.
Yeah, which is Android. We support that. So next episode, like I said earlier, Nintendo. We're talking about Nintendo.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
We appreciate you guys tuning in. Anybody have any final thoughts they wanna chime in before we tune out?
Love you guys.
Oh, Will says he loves everybody. If you didn't hear that,
Oh,
Everybody? What if we have like
us or the listeners?
the leader of the KKK listening in? Do you love him?
Love you guys.
Us. Okay, us.
You gotta love everybody. I guess.
Robbie,
What
watch
would
your-
Jesus do?
Watch your feet, Robbie. Watch your feet.
What would Jesus?
That's what we talked about tonight. You do your traveling and learn how to love everybody.
That's true. I think.
Final thought, Justin.
Yeah.
We should support Kendall. We should do
Kendall who?
like
Kendall who? I don't know any Kendall.
We got Apple,
my cousin's name
the
is Kendall.
iPhone, Android. We should do Kendall stuff. Well, I guess that's
What's
Android.
Android.
too.
Android.
It's an
Android.
Well, we
based.
can put the transcript.
We tried.
Mike, any
Put out an
final
ebook.
thoughts?
Next time we do something like this, we need to classify to everybody what we're doing. Because travel is just so wide, and all my top 5 is all travel.
We'll
road
be
trip,
more specific on the
road.
Nintendo episode. Anybody brings up Sega and they get punched in the dick.
I'll film that.
Okay.
I appreciate
It's bound
everybody
to
for
happen.
listening. I appreciate you guys for being here. Justin, Will, Mike, me, John. Thank you guys for listening. Check
Yeah.
out the weekly comic book review every single Tuesday night into Wednesday morning on our YouTube channel, Pop Culture Philosophers. That's right. Check us out on YouTube. Please subscribe. Good stuff. Movie Monday every Monday this year, talking about a different movie. We're starting off with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, building up into Infinity War. Lots of good stuff. Check out Movie Monday. I'm Rockin' Robbie Billups. Thanks for listening. Thanks
And don't
for
forget,
rocking
check
with
out
us.
every week Taco Tuesday, where we show you how to make tacos.
Yes.
Every
it's the
week.
same video
It's the
every
same
week.
video we should upload on Tuesday. Listeners are going to be upset if they tune in and that's not
Sign
there.
up for the Patreon. We'll do some
Yeah.
burritos.
But we appreciate you guys tuning in. Like Robbie said, check out the videos on the YouTube.
$5
Have a
a
good
month.
night,
That's
and
not
stay out of trouble and
That's a
watch
lot.
those travel movies, and comment below. Thank you.